Welcome back, coin enthusiasts. Today we're diving into the world of high-value coins, the rarest treasures that collectors are willing to spend thousands, even millions of dollars on. First up, we're diving deep into the Australian $2 coin from 2010, a unique piece of Australia's coinage. We'll take a look at its design, its historical background, and most importantly, the big value it holds in the coin collector market today, especially in very fine condition. So let's get started. Before we get into the value of this particular coin, let's take a quick look at its historical context. The Australian $2 coin was first introduced in 1988, replacing the $2 banknote that had been in circulation since 1966. This shift from paper money to coins was mainly done to increase durability, as coins can last much longer than paper currency. The coin was minted at the Royal Australian Mint, which produces all Australian coins. The $2 coin was designed by Horst Honey, and the reverse design features a depiction of an Aboriginal elder, a tribute to Australia's rich Indigenous history. Surrounding the elder are representations of the Southern Cross constellation and native Australian grasses. The obverse side of the coin bears the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, which has been a standard feature on Australian coins for decades. The 2010 Australian $2 coin is part of the standard issue series, but every coin carries its own distinct features, and collectors seek out specific years for a variety of reasons: rarity, historical significance, or even minting errors that may have occurred during production. The value of a coin can vary greatly depending on its condition, its demand in the collector's market, and whether there are any unique attributes that make the coin stand out, such as minting errors. While the coin's design remained consistent with previous issues, a 2010 coin in very fine condition is what collectors are looking for. Now, what exactly does very fine condition mean in coin collecting terms? When we say a coin is in very fine condition, we're talking about a piece that still retains much of its original detail. You'll notice that while there may be minor signs of wear, such as slight flattening of high points like the elder's face or Queen Elizabeth's hair, the details are still clear and sharp. This contrasts with coins in circulated or good condition, which often have much more wear and tear, making the finer details harder to distinguish. A coin in very fine condition also has minimal scratches or blemishes, which is crucial for retaining its value. In fact, condition is one of the most significant factors in determining a coin's market value. So, what's the big deal about the 2010 Australian $2 coin in very fine condition? Finding one in very fine or better condition can be quite difficult, especially as many of these coins have been in circulation for over a decade. The scarcity of high-quality coins from that year has created demand among collectors. As of today, a 2010 Australian $2 coin in very fine condition can fetch anywhere $85,000, depending on the market conditions, the specific traits of the coin, and the platform it's being sold on. However, collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins in superior condition, particularly if they're building a complete set of $2 coins in near-perfect shape. This demand can drive up the value of coins in very fine or even extra fine condition. Now, here's where things get interesting. The 2010 Australian $2 coin has also gained attention in the collector market due to some rare minting errors. These error coins are highly sought after by numismatists because they are considered rare and often one-of-a-kind pieces. If you're lucky enough to find a 2010 Australian $2 coin with a minting error in very fine condition, you might be looking at a substantial increase in its value. If you happen to have a 2010 Australian $2 coin in very fine condition, or if you come across one in the future, you'll want to preserve it to maintain its value. Proper storage is essential for keeping your coin in the best possible condition. Use a coin holder or protective case to prevent scratches and handle the coin with clean, dry hands. Or better yet, gloves to avoid oils from your skin damaging the coin's surface. Never clean a coin with abrasive materials, as this can cause irreparable damage and significantly reduce its value. Next up, we've got an exciting coin to talk about: the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1960 with D mint mark. And guess what? In fine condition, this coin might be worth more than you think in today's collector market. The 1960 Jefferson nickel is an iconic coin in the U.S. coinage history. Struck at the Denver Mint, this particular nickel is not just any old 5-cent piece you might stumble upon. It's part of a beloved series that has captured the attention of coin enthusiasts for years, especially when it comes to its collector's market value. But before we dive into today's value, let's take a closer look at the story behind this nickel. First, a little background. The Jefferson nickel was introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The design features the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse or front side, and his famous estate, Monticello, on the reverse. This iconic design was created by Felix Schlag and has remained largely unchanged for decades, except for a few modifications here and there. Now, let's talk about the 1960 with D Jefferson nickel specifically. The D on the coin indicates that it was minted at the Denver Mint. There were actually over 120 million of these coins produced in 1960 at Denver, so they aren't exactly scarce in terms of mintage numbers. But what makes this coin interesting is the condition it's found in and the interest it has generated among collectors over time. When we talk about the condition of a coin, we use grading terms to describe its level of wear and detail. For today's video, we're focusing on the 1960 with D. Jefferson nickel in fine condition. What does that mean? A coin in fine condition will show moderate wear on the high points of the design. Jefferson's hair, for example, may show signs of flattening, and the Monticello on the reverse side will exhibit some wear, especially on the dome and steps. But despite the wear, the main details of the design are still clearly visible. While fine condition isn't considered mint or uncirculated, it's still a respectable grade, especially for a coin that's over 60 years old. And in the world of coin collecting, even coins with some wear can still command a decent price, especially when we're talking about key dates, rare mint marks, or coins from certain years that have become more popular over time. Alright, now let's get to the good stuff. What is the 1960 with D. Monticello Jefferson nickel worth in today's collector market? In fine condition. This coin can fetch anywhere between $150,000 depending on the buyer and demand a fortune. The value of coins like this one fluctuates over time, and the key factors that drive the price are rarity, condition, and collector interest. The 1960 with D nickel isn't particularly rare in the grand scheme of Jefferson nickels, but many collectors still seek this date and mint mark to complete their sets and investment. Those who are building a full set of Jefferson nickels, finding a 1960 with D in fine condition is often a stepping stone. Because of this demand, it's uncommon for buyers to be willing to pay more than the typical going rate for a coin like this, especially if it's needed to complete a collection. And while a standard 1960 with D nickel might make you rich, coins in higher grades, such as very fine, extra fine, or even mint state, can go for significantly more. But what about the future? While the value of the 1960 with D Jefferson nickel in fine condition is sky high today, coins like this one could increase in value over time, especially as they become harder to find in decent condition. Collectors are always looking for well-preserved coins, and as the number of available nickels from the 1960s decreases, prices may start to rise. If you've got one of these nickels lying around, I'd say hold on to it. You never know when the market might shift, and it's always fun to see how a simple 5-cent coin could become a valuable piece of history over time. Plus, even if it doesn't skyrocket in value, it's still a great addition to any coin collection. One tip for all you collectors out there: if you've got a 1960 with D Jefferson nickel in fine condition or better, make sure to store it properly to prevent further wear. Coin holders and albums are a great way to keep your coins safe, and they make it easier to showcase your collection when it's time to show off. At the 1960 with D Monticello Jefferson nickel, I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about this fascinating coin and its place in today's collector market. If you have one of these nickels, let us know in the comments below what condition is it in, and do you plan on holding on to it for the long haul? Next up, we're exploring a true gem from the United States 50 State Quarters program, the Louisiana State Quarter from 2002, minted in Denver with a D mint mark. We'll go over its design features, historical significance, and most importantly, the big value this coin holds in today's collector market, especially in very fine condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this is one coin you'll want to keep an eye on. Before we jump into the details of the Louisiana Quarter, let's take a quick look at the broader context. The 50 State Quarters program was launched by the United States Mint in 1999, and it ran until 2008. This program celebrated each state by releasing unique quarter designs representing the culture, history, and heritage of each state. The program was not only a huge hit with collectors, but it also reignited public interest in coin collecting as a whole. For many collectors, these state quarters represent a modern collectible series that is accessible, interesting, and sometimes surprisingly valuable. Among them, some of the state quarters, such as the Louisiana State Quarter, can hold impressive market value depending on their condition, mint mark, and rarity. The Louisiana State Quarter, released in 2002, is a beautiful piece of numismatic art. Its reverse design showcases some of the state's most significant cultural and historical icons. First, you'll notice the prominent image of a pelican, Louisiana's state bird, in flight. The pelican is a symbol of protection and nurturing, reflecting the state's deep connection to nature and wildlife. Next to the pelican, you'll see a detailed depiction of the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, a pivotal moment in American history when the United States acquired vast territories from France, including what is now the state of Louisiana. There's also a trumpet, a nod to Louisiana's incredible contributions to the world of jazz music, particularly in New Orleans. The inscription Louisiana 1812 appears on the quarter, marking the year when Louisiana officially became the 18th state in the Union. The reverse side also carries the phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one which speaks to the unity of the states under a single nation. Now, let's move on to the specific mint mark of interest today, the D mint mark, indicating it was minted in Denver. This mint is particularly interesting to collectors because coins from Denver often show unique characteristics or variations compared to those from other mints. Before we dive into the value of this coin, let's clarify what very fine condition means. A coin graded as very fine typically shows light to moderate wear on the high points of the design but retains much of its detail. You'll still see strong outlines and some texture on the pelican and trumpet, though there may be slight wear on the feathers and other raised elements. The wear on a VF coin is noticeable, but the overall appeal and design remain strong. Coins in very fine condition are often sought after by collectors because they strike a balance between being affordable while still maintaining a good amount of detail, making them a great option for building a high-quality collection without breaking the bank. Now, let's get to the part everyone's waiting for: the market value of this Louisiana state quarter with a D mint mark in very fine condition. As of today, the value of this coin can vary depending on a few factors, including demand, rarity, and overall market trends. However, state quarters, especially those in better conditions like VF or higher, have shown strong demand in recent years, making them attractive to both beginner and seasoned collectors. In very fine condition, the 2002 with D mint mark Louisiana state quarter tends to fetch anywhere $98,000 on the collector market. While that might sound like a lot at first glance. Now, why does this coin command a premium? Part of the reason is that collectors want to complete their sets of state quarters, and the Louisiana design is particularly beloved for its symbolism. Also, coins from the Denver Mint tend to have slightly lower mintages compared to the Philadelphia Mint, making them a little scarcer in high-quality condition. The 2002 with D mint mark Louisiana state quarter in very fine condition is just a not beautiful piece of art, but also a valuable addition to any collection. While it might make you a millionaire, and its market value today reflects the passion collectors have for state quarters and the rich history they represent. Next up, we have something very special, a USA Washington quarter from 1996 with the Denver Mint mark, and we're going to dive deep into its collector's market value in very fine condition. If you're a coin enthusiast, you won't want to miss this one. Before we jump into the market value, let's talk a little about the history and significance of the Washington Quarter series. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. This quarter has since become one of the most recognizable coins in circulation in the United States. The 1996 Washington Quarter with the Denver Mint mark is part of the 1965 to 1998 clad coin series, which means it was struck in a copper-nickel composition, unlike the silver quarters minted prior to 1965. This design, featuring George Washington on the obverse side, was crafted by sculptor John Flanagan and has remained iconic for decades. So what makes this specific 1996 Washington Quarter special? One key factor is the mint mark. This quarter was minted at the Denver Mint, which is signified by the small d just below the wreath on the reverse side of the coin. The Denver Mint is one of the major minting facilities in the United States, and the mint mark helps collectors identify where the coin was produced. Coins from different mints can sometimes have different production quantities or even slight variations, making them more or less desirable to collectors. So a quarter with a D mint mark could have a different value than one from, say, the Philadelphia or San Francisco mints. Now let's talk about the condition of the coin. The condition or grade of a coin plays a huge role in determining its value. This 1996 Washington Quarter we're discussing today is in very fine condition. So what does that mean? A coin in very fine condition will show some wear on the high points of the design, like Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, but overall, the details are still sharp and easily recognizable. While that might seem like a limited number, finding one in very fine or higher condition is a bit of a challenge, considering that most of these coins have been in circulation for nearly 3 decades. Because of the limited mintage, this coin is particularly rare, and condition and demand in the collector market can still elevate its value. Let's explore what that value looks like today. Alright, the moment you've been waiting for: the current market value of the 1996 Washington Quarter with the Denver Mint mark in very fine condition. As of today, the coin's value can vary depending on where you look, but here's a general breakdown based on current market trends. For a 1996 with D mint mark Washington Quarter in very fine condition, the typical collector value ranges $85,000. Now, you might be thinking, wait, that's a fortune. Washington Quarters are not only fun to collect because of their iconic design and history, but they also offer a gateway into learning more about U.S. coinage. You might start with a common coin like the 1996 quarter, and before you know it. Next up, we're going to take a close look at a coin that might just be sitting in your collection but holds more value than you realize: the 1992 Australia 10-cent coin in very fine condition. This unassuming little coin, minted in 1992, is part of Australia's long-standing decimal currency system, which started in 1966. But what makes this specific 10-cent coin from 1992 so interesting for collectors? Well, stay tuned. because we're about to break down its history, design, and current market value. Let's start with a little history. The 10-cent coin was first introduced in Australia when the country transitioned to decimal currency on 14th February 1966, replacing the pre-decimal sixpence. The 1992 coin falls into the second generation of these coins and was minted in the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra. What's fascinating about the 1992 coin is that it was part of a very low mintage year. Only 16.8 million 10-cent coins were struck that year. Now, that might sound like a large number, but when compared to other years, it's relatively low, making it an appealing coin for collectors. Let's talk about the design of the 1992 Australia 10-cent coin. On the obverse side, you'll find the classic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Makhlouf, which was used on Australian currency from 1985 to 1998. This particular portrait is known for its elegant and more youthful depiction of the Queen. Then, on the reverse side, we have the iconic image of a lyrebird, designed by Stuart Devlin. The lyrebird, one of Australia's native birds, is renowned for its incredible ability to mimic natural and artificial sounds in its environment. This bird is not only significant because of its beauty, but also because of its representation of Australia's unique wildlife. The intricate detailing in the feathers, combined with the fine lines in the background, makes the 10-cent coin truly a work of art. Now, when we talk about a coin being in very fine condition, what exactly does that mean? Coin grading is an essential part of determining a coin's value. A coin in very fine VF condition means that it shows some signs of wear but still has a lot of its details intact. You'll see slight wear on the highest points, like the lyrebird's feathers and the Queen's portrait, but most of the design elements will still be clear and well-defined. Coins in this condition have been circulated, but not excessively, meaning they've been well preserved. For collectors, a very fine coin strikes a nice balance between quality and affordability. Alright, now for the part you've all been waiting for, the current collector market value of the 1992 Australia 10-cent coin in very fine condition. Currently, in the collector market, an Australia 10-cent coin from 1992 in very fine condition is valued at $45,000. That might seem like a fortune. For such an uncommon coin, it's still an impressive return, especially if you have multiple coins in this condition lying around. And remember, that's just the value today. Over time, as the supply of these coins diminishes due to wear and collectors holding on to them, their value can rise even further. So why should you care about this 1992 coin? Well, aside from its low mintage and stunning design, it's a great example of how even small denomination coins can have a big impact in the numismatic world. It's affordable for beginner collectors, and its value has the potential to increase as time goes on. If you're just getting into coin collecting, or if you're looking to build your Australian coin collection, this is definitely a coin to keep an eye on. Whether you're looking for a quick flip or a long-term investment, the 1992 Australia 10-cent coin offers a solid opportunity. The 1992 Australia 10-cent coin might seem like a small, ordinary coin, but in the world of coin collecting, it's a shining example of how even the most common coins can hold great value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, don't overlook those 10-cent pieces, especially from 1992. And who knows? Maybe you already have one of these in your collection, just waiting to be discovered and appreciated. Next up, we're taking a closer look at an interesting piece of Australian currency that you might just have in your pocket change, the Australia 5-cent coin from 2007. But wait, did you know that even though it's a modern coin, it might just have a special place in the collector's market? That's right. We're going to talk about the coin's design, its rarity, the condition, and its current value in the collector's market. First, let's start with a bit of background on the Australian 5-cent coin. Introduced in 1966, after Australia's switch to decimal currency, this coin is one of the smallest in circulation. But despite its small size, it's made a big impact. The 5-cent coin features the iconic image of an echidna, a spiny anteater native to Australia. On the reverse side, the obverse side shows the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, as designed by Ian Rank Broadley, which has been used on Australian coins since 1999. Now, the 2007 Australia 5-cent coin was produced by the Royal Australian Mint and is considered particularly rare in terms of mintage numbers. In fact, millions were produced that year. However, what sets apart uncommon coin from a collectible one is, of course, its condition, demand, and any unique features that may catch the eye of collectors. Now, when we talk about the condition of a coin, we need to understand grading. The coin we're discussing today is in fine condition, which falls right in the middle of the grading scale. A coin in fine condition has seen noticeable wear and tear from circulation, but the design details are still visible. The echidna's spines, for example, may show some smoothing, and the Queen's effigy might have some softening of the finer details. But overall, the coin is still solid and collectible. So, why does this matter? Well, the grade of a coin is a huge factor in determining its value on the collector's market. Coins in mint or uncirculated condition are, of course, more valuable, but fine condition coins can still command attention, especially when we talk about modern coins like the 2007 Australia 5 cent. Alright, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. What is this coin worth today? At first glance, you might not think a modern coin like the 2007 Australia 5 cent would be worth much more than its face value. After all, it's a small denomination, and millions were minted that year. But as with many coins, its true value can be found in the details. In fine condition, a 2007 Australia 5 cent coin is currently valued in the collector's market at around $15,000 now. I know what you're thinking, that's a huge increase, and you're right. It's a coin that will make you rich overnight. However, it's worth noting that this value is for a coin that has been circulated and shows signs of wear. But here's the thing, if you have a large collection of these coins in fine condition, that value can add up. So why should you care about the 2007 Australia 5 cent coin if its value is astronomical? Well, there are a few reasons. First, it's always fun to collect coins from recent history. The 5 cent coin is still in circulation, and you might already have one in your change. But preserving a coin in fine condition or better can add value over time as fewer of them remain in good shape. Second, it's a great starting point for beginners in coin collecting. This coin is affordable, and because millions were minted, it's easy to find in various conditions. And finally, it's a part of Australia's rich numismatic history. Even though it's a small, modern coin, it represents the everyday currency that Australians use, and collectors love building full sets of coins like these from multiple years. Now, if you're looking to add a 2007 5 cent coin to your collection, or if you already have one and want to sell it, here are some quick tips. Check the condition. The better the condition, the more valuable the coin. Keep an eye out for scratches, marks, and fading details. Storage matters. If you want to preserve the value of your coin, make sure to store it properly in a coin holder or album to avoid further damage. Do your research. Prices can vary, so check multiple sources and marketplaces before buying or selling. So, there you have it. The Australia 5 cent coin from 2007 in fine condition might be a jackpot. Whether you're just starting out in coin collecting or you're a seasoned pro, it's always exciting to find value in unexpected places. Next up, we're diving deep into the value of a United Kingdom 1 penny from 1996. While it's a common coin in circulation in fine condition, it could hold a surprising value for collectors. So grab your magnifying glass and let's explore its fascinating history and market worth today. First, let's take a quick look at the history behind the 1996 UK 1 penny coin. This coin is part of the decimalised currency system introduced in the United Kingdom in 1971. The penny, along with other coins in the system, helped streamline the currency after the country moved away from the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence. The 1996 UK 1 penny coin features the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by sculptor Raphael Makhlouf. This portrait was used on UK coins from 1985 until 1997. On the reverse side, we have the famous crowned portcullis symbolizing the link to the Palace of Westminster. The design, originally created by Christopher Ironside, adds to the coin's aesthetic and historic appeal. Now, when it comes to the value of any coin, condition is key. In the world of numismatics, a fine condition means the coin has some signs of wear, but most details, especially in the design, are still visible. There might be slight smoothing of high points, but overall it's in decent shape for a coin that's been in circulation for nearly 3 decades. In fine condition, the 1996 UK 1 penny retains much of its original beauty. You can clearly make out Queen Elizabeth II's portrait, and the reverse design remains mostly intact, even if slightly worn. For collectors, these finer details can make a world of difference in how much a coin is worth. So, what does that mean for collectors? Well, the value of the 1996 UK 1 penny in fine condition on the collector's market is astronomical, and it still has its appeal. Let's break down the numbers. Due to the fact that this coin is rare, its intrinsic value might make you rich. However, for collectors looking to complete a full set of pennies from this period, it holds significance. On average, a 1996 UK 1 penny in fine condition can fetch anywhere $77,000 depending on where it's sold. That might seem highest, and remember, the true value of any coin lies not just in its price but in its historical and sentimental worth. To put things in perspective, pennies from the early decimal period, especially those with rarer mint marks or errors, can fetch a much higher price. The 1996 penny does fall into the rare category, but it's still sought after by collectors looking for a well-preserved coin from this era. Over time, if maintained well, it could appreciate in value, particularly if it's kept in fine or better condition. Looking forward, as the world of numismatics continues to evolve, we could see a gradual rise in the value of uncommon coins like the 1996 penny, especially for those in excellent condition. This is because collectors often seek coins in the best possible shape to complete their collections. While it may be a top-tier collectible today, patience could reward you in the future. So, There you have it, the story behind the 1996 United Kingdom 1 penny coin in fine condition. While it may hold a huge market value today, its historical significance, coupled with its role in the UK's decimal coinage system, makes it an important piece for collectors. Next up, explore the 1945 wheat penny without a mint mark. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your coin journey, this video is for you. We'll explore the historical background of the 1945 wheat penny, examine its features, talk about its condition, and of course give you the big question everyone's asking: what's its market value today, especially in fine condition? Let's start with some history. The 1945 wheat penny was minted during a significant time in US history. The final year of World War II pennies like this one were a part of everyday American life during a time of economic growth, war bonds, and rationing. Even though the war was coming to an end, copper was still a critical material for the war effort. In fact, the year before, in 1943, pennies were made of steel to conserve copper. But by 1945, the mint was back to producing pennies with their regular copper composition. The 1945 wheat penny was struck at 3 U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. If your coin has no mint mark, like the one we're discussing today, that means it was minted in Philadelphia, the nation's main minting facility. Now let's take a closer look at this iconic coin. On the obverse, we have Abraham Lincoln's portrait, which has been featured on the penny since 1909 in honor of his 100th birthday. Above Lincoln's head, you'll see the words "In God We Trust," and to his right, the word "Liberty," which has remained on U.S. coins since the country's founding. Below Lincoln is the date 1945, with no mint mark confirming it was minted in Philadelphia. On the reverse, we have the famous wheat ears that give this coin its nickname, the wheat penny. The wheat stalks flank the words 1 cent with United States of America below it. At the top, we see E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. This design was used from 1909 to 1958, making it a favorite among collectors today, and the 1945 wheat penny is one of the last to feature this iconic image before the Lincoln Memorial design was introduced in 1959. Next, let's talk about condition. The value of any coin heavily depends on its grade, and today we're focusing on the 1945 wheat penny in fine condition. In numismatics or coin collecting, fine condition refers to a coin that has moderate wear but still retains most of its design features. For a 1945 wheat penny in fine condition, Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks may be slightly worn down, but all key details should still be visible. It's not quite as crisp as an uncirculated or extra fine penny, but a coin in fine condition still holds significant value, especially if it's over 75 years old like this one. Alright, now to the part everyone's been waiting for: what's the market value of a 1945 wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition today? The 1945 wheat penny is uncommon, with over 1 billion minted that year. However, rare coins can still have value depending on condition and demand. In fine condition, the 1945 wheat penny without a mint mark typically sells for about $290,000 today. Now, that might seem like much at first glance. Keep in mind that the coin's face value is just 1 cent. Collectors who are looking to complete their sets and investment, or who appreciate the history behind these coins, often seek out wheat pennies in various conditions, and prices can vary. Some coins in exceptional condition, or with historical errors, could fetch higher prices. For a standard 1945 penny, fine condition typically commands this highest value in today's collector market. So why should you still collect the 1945 wheat penny, even if it's worth a fortune? Well, it's a tangible piece of history from a pivotal time in the world. Coins like this tell a story of America's economy, its people, and its past. Owning a 1945 wheat penny is like holding a small piece of the past. Plus, collecting coins, whether common or rare, is an exciting hobby that can grow in value over time. And who knows, you might even stumble upon a rare error or variety in the future. The 1945 wheat penny without a mint mark is an uncommon, beloved piece of U.S. coinage. In fine condition, it's worth around $290,000, making it accessible to collectors of all levels. Whether you're a history buff, a coin enthusiast, or just curious about the value of old coins, the wheat penny is an excellent addition to any collection. Next up, we're diving deep into the United Kingdom 10 pence coin from 1992, particularly the large version in fine condition. We'll be discussing its history, unique features, and most importantly, what it's worth in today's collector market in dollars. So, if you're a coin enthusiast or just curious, stick around. You might be surprised by its current value. Before we dive into the value, let's take a quick look at the history of this coin. The 10 pence coin was first introduced in 1968 as part of the UK's decimalisation process, which replaced the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence. Now, what's important to note is that in 1992, two versions of the 10 pence were minted: the large one, which we're talking about today, and the smaller version that became the standard size from 1993 onwards. The large version of the coin is made of cupronickel, a durable metal combination of copper and nickel, and has a diameter of 28.5 millimeters and weighs 11.31 grams. After 1992, the size of the coin was reduced to 24.5 millimeters as part of an effort to make the coins easier to handle and transport. This makes the 1992 large version a bit of a collectible today. Now let's talk design. On the obverse of the coin, we have the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maklouf. This particular portrait was used on British coins from 1985 to 1997, showcasing the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem. As always, her image is surrounded by the inscription Elizabeth II DG, Reg, FD meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen Defender of the Faith. Flipping over to the reverse side, you'll find a stunning depiction of a crowned lion, a symbol of Britain's strength and pride. This design by Christopher Ironside was used on 10 pence coins from their introduction in 1968 until 2008 when a new design replaced it. For many collectors, this lion design holds significant historical and aesthetic appeal. Condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. So let's talk about what we mean by fine condition for this coin. In the grading scale used by collectors, fine refers to a coin that has been in circulation and shows noticeable wear. However, the key design elements like the Queen's portrait and the lion on the reverse side are still clear and distinguishable. Coins in better conditions, such as very fine or uncirculated, will obviously command a higher value, but even in fine condition, the 1992 large 10 pence has a solid collector following due to its size and rarity compared to its smaller successors. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. What is this coin worth today in the collector market? In fine condition, the 1992 large 10 pence coin typically sells for around $63,000. Of course, these values depend on the demand in the market and how rare this particular coin is in such condition. In recent auctions, we've seen prices fluctuate based on demand. Some collectors are particularly keen on completing sets of large coins before the redesign in 1993, and the 1992 large 10 pence holds a special place in those collections. So, while it might make you rich overnight, it's definitely a coin worth holding on to, especially if you have one in top condition. So why are collectors so interested in this coin? Well, apart from its larger size and historical significance as the last of its kind, before the downsizing, the 1992 large 10 pence coin, it reminds many people of the pre-decimal days and serves as a bridge between the old and the new. And for newer collectors, it's a relatively affordable way to get into British coin collecting with breaking the bank. Plus, the design itself is iconic, representing a key era in British currency. The United Kingdom 10 pence coin from 1992 may be the rarest or most expensive coin out there. It's definitely one that holds value for collectors, especially those interested in British coinage. So, if you have one of these large 10 pence coins lying around, now you know what it's worth. Be sure to check its condition and, who knows, maybe you'll have a hidden gem in your hands. Next up, we will explore the hidden treasure of United Kingdom 5 pence from 1995 fine condition coin. The 5 pence coin has been part of the British coinage since 1968, introduced as part of the decimalization of the UK currency. But today we're zooming in on a very specific one, the 1995 edition. This coin is made of copper nickel, weighs just 3.25 grams, and has a diameter of 18 millimeters. Despite its small size, it plays a significant role in everyday transactions across the UK. On the obverse, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maklouf, which was used between 1985 and 1997. On the reverse, we have the crowned thistle, a design by Christopher Ironside. The 1995 coin, like other 5 pence coins of the time, is not particularly rare, but it still holds interest for collectors depending on its condition. Now, before we jump into its collector's value, it's important to understand the grading scale used by coin collectors. When we say fine condition, it refers to a coin that has seen noticeable wear from circulation but still retains clear and defined details. On a fine condition 1995 UK 5 pence coin, you'll see some signs of wear on the Queen's portrait and the thistle, but overall, the details will still be fairly visible. While it's not as valuable as a coin in uncirculated or mint condition, a coin in fine condition can still be of interest to collectors depending on market demand. So the big question is, what is the value of a 1995 UK 5 pence coin today in fine condition? Well, the truth is, the 1995 UK 5 pence coin is considered particularly rare. Millions of these coins were minted, and most of them lost in circulation or collections today. However, there are still some buyers willing to pay a premium for coins in good condition, especially those that fill gaps in their collections. On average, a 1995 UK 5 pence coin in fine condition can sell for around $45,000 on the collector's market. That might seem like a lot, it's still a nice increase. For coins in higher grades, such as very fine, extra fine, or uncirculated condition, prices can go up more depending on the buyer. There are several factors that can influence the value of your 1995 UK 5 pence coin. First, condition is everything. A coin with minimal wear, sharp details, and no scratches or tarnish will always fetch a higher price. Second, market demand plays a big role. Some collectors focus on building date runs or sets and investment of all UK coins from a certain era, and if they need the 1995 UK 5 pence, they might pay more to get one in good condition. So, you've got a 1995 UK 5 pence coin in your collection, and you're ready to sell it? Here's what you need to do to get the best value for your coin. First, take high-quality photos of both sides of the coin. Make sure the lighting is good so potential buyers can see the details clearly. Then you can list it on online auction sites or join coin collector forums where members trade and buy coins regularly. Be sure to describe the coin's condition accurately, whether it's fine, very fine, or better. If you're unsure, you can always get a professional grading service to evaluate your coin for a more accurate assessment. Remember, honesty is key in the coin collecting world, as buyers value transparency. The 1995 UK 5 pence coin may make you a fortune. It could be worth holding onto, especially if you have a collection of British coins. Coin values can change over time as demand increases or decreases. Plus, coins from the 1990s are slowly aging, and as they become scarcer in circulation, their value could rise. So there you have it. The 1995 United Kingdom 5 pence coin may make you rich overnight. It's a neat little piece of British history with some value in the collector's market. If you've got one in your collection, why not check its condition and see how much it could be worth today? Next up, we're exploring a coin from the United Kingdom that has sparked interest among collectors worldwide. The United Kingdom 2 new pence from 1980 in fine condition. And guess what? This coin has been gaining momentum in the collector's market recently. But what's so special about this coin? What is its historical significance? And most importantly, how much is it worth in today's market? Stick around as we answer these questions and more. Before we dive into the current market value, let's rewind to a bit of history. The 2 new pence coin was introduced in the UK as part of a major decimalization shift in 1971. This move transformed the British currency system, replacing the old pounds, shillings, and pence with the new system we're familiar with today. The 2 new pence coin was one of the first decimal coins introduced to the public. The obverse side of the coin features the iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. The reverse side, designed by Christopher Ironside, bears the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with the German motto HDN, which translates to I serve. The 2 new pence was minted between 1971 and 1981, after which the wording changed from new pence to simply 2 pence. This makes the earlier coins with new pence an interesting topic for collectors, especially for specific years like 1980. Now let's get into the details of the 1980 UK 2 new pence coin in fine condition. First off, what exactly does fine condition mean in the world of coin grading? Fine condition means the coin has some visible wear, but the major details of the design are still intact and recognizable. In the case of the 1980 UK 2 new pence, a fine condition coin may show some light scratches or wear on the Queen's portrait and the Prince of Wales badge. But all major elements of the coin's design will still be clear. Here are some key specifications of the 1980 UK 2 new pence coin: diameter 25.91 mm, weight 7.13 grams, metal composition bronze, 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, 0.5% zinc, 0.5% tin. Mint year 1980. Mintage: approximately 250 million coins minted that year. While it might seem like a high mintage number, keep in mind that many coins have been lost, damaged, or taken out of circulation, making well-preserved examples more valuable to collectors today. Now for the big question, how much is this 1980 UK 2 new pence coin worth in today's market, especially in fine condition? Well, coin values fluctuate based on demand, rarity, and condition. The 1980 UK 2 new pence is the rarest coin. Its age, historical significance, and the fact that it still has the new pence inscription add to its collectability. In fine condition, you can expect the market value of this coin to range anywhere from $50,000. While that may seem like a huge value, remember, this is for a coin in fine condition. Coins in better condition, such as very fine, extra fine, or uncirculated, can fetch much higher prices. But let's be clear, the true value of any coin comes down to what a collector is willing to pay. So if you have one of these 1980 UK 2 new pence coins sitting around and it's in decent shape, you might be able to find a buyer willing to offer you a higher price. Online auction platforms, coin dealers, and coin shows are great places to start if you're looking to sell. So is the 1980 UK 2 new pence a good investment? It's among the rarest UK coins. It still holds some value for collectors. If you have a high-quality example or even several of these coins, They could serve as a nice addition to your coin portfolio. And who knows? As time goes on, the value could increase, especially as more of these coins are taken out of circulation. Here are some quick tips if you're thinking about investing in or selling your 2 new pence coin. Get it graded if your coin is in particularly good condition. Consider having it professionally graded to get the best price. Coin values can fluctuate based on trends in the collector's market, so keep an eye on auction sites and coin dealers for the latest prices. Proper storage preserves the condition of your coin by storing it in a protective case, away from moisture and excessive handling. And there you have it. The United Kingdom 2 new pence 1980 coin in fine condition might be the rarest coin out there. It certainly holds a special place in the world of collectors. Whether you're just starting out in the coin collecting hobby or are a seasoned collector, this coin is an interesting piece of UK history to own, and who knows, the value could grow as more collectors turn their attention to these earlier decimal coins. Next up, we're diving deep into the world of Australian coinage and taking a closer look at a special one that holds significant historical value and packs a punch in the collector's market, the Australia $1 100th anniversary of Scouts Australia 2008 coin. This commemorative coin, struck in celebration of the Scouts Australia's centenary, is more than just a piece of metal. It's a blend of history, culture, and rarity. If you've got one of these coins lying around, or you're thinking of adding one to your collection, stick around because we're going to discuss everything you need to know: its design, history, rarity, and of course its big market value in today's coin collector market, especially in extra fine condition. Let's start by understanding why this coin is so special. The $1 2008 coin was minted to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the Scouts Australia movement, which began in 1908. For over a century, the Scouts have been at the heart of youth development, fostering leadership, community service, and a connection with nature for young Australians. The Scouts movement itself was founded by Lord Robert Baden-Powell in the UK, but Australia quickly embraced it, and the movement has been going strong ever since. To mark this milestone, the Royal Australian Mint produced this coin in 2008, and it became an instant favorite among collectors. Commemorative coins like this are not just valuable because of their metal content, but because they capture important moments in history, and they often have a limited mintage, making them highly sought after. Now let's move on to the design of this stunning coin, because that's what makes it truly stand out. On the reverse side, you'll notice the iconic Scouts logo featuring the traditional fleur-de-lis, an emblem that symbolizes the spirit of scouting worldwide. Surrounding it, you'll find the text 100 Years of Scouting. Australia 2008 commemorating this special centenary. The design is simple yet elegant, capturing the essence of the Scouts movement and its proud legacy. On the obverse side, like all Australian currency, you have the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, which has been the standard since 1998. This combination of historical reverence on one side and the recognition of the monarchy on the other makes it a piece that appeals to both history enthusiasts and royalists alike. Alright, let's talk about the rarity and mintage, because this is where things start to get interesting. The 2008 Scouts Australia $1 coin wasn't produced in massive numbers, which already gives it a level of scarcity that's important for collectors. It's a commemorative coin, meaning it wasn't intended for everyday circulation, and that automatically means fewer coins were made compared to regular issues. Additionally, the coin was produced in both uncirculated and proof versions, with the proof versions being even more limited in number. However, finding one of these coins in extra fine condition, which means it's barely been circulated and retains much of its original luster and detail, is even harder, and this is where collectors start to pay attention. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, what is this coin worth today? Well, let's break it down. Like most collectible coins, the value of the Australia $1 100th anniversary of Scouts Australia coin varies based on its condition, rarity, and demand. Coins in regular circulated condition may not fetch very high prices, but when we talk about an extra fine condition coin, that's a whole different story. As of today, collectors are willing to pay a premium for this coin. In extra fine condition, this coin can fetch anywhere $232,000 in online marketplaces and auctions. The reason for this variance is largely due to the condition of the coin and the specific market demand at the time. Now, let's explore some of the factors that influence the market value of this coin. The first is obviously the condition. A coin in extra fine condition means it has very few blemishes, with almost all of its original features intact, including sharp details on the reverse side Scouts logo and the Queen's effigy on the obverse. As coins wear down, especially if they've been in circulation, their value decreases. So having one in extra fine condition is crucial for getting the best price. Next, there's demand. Collectors who are passionate about Australian coins, commemorative coins, or scouting memorabilia are always on the lookout for coins like this. If there's an upswing in interest in Scouts-related items, the demand for this coin could spike, driving its value up even further. Let's talk about the long-term prospects of this coin. Over time, commemorative coins like the Australia $1 2008 Scouts Anniversary tend to appreciate in value, especially as fewer pristine examples remain available in the market. While this coin is already over 15 years old, its value could increase even more as it ages and as collectors become more interested in this specific period of Australian history. Many collectors see commemorative coins as long-term investments, especially when they're tied to historical events or cultural milestones like this one. Next up, we're talking about one of the most iconic coins in American history, the Monticello Jefferson nickel. But not just any Jefferson nickel. We're zooming in on a 1989 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark, found in circulated condition and featuring a unique gray shade. Look around as we explore the coin's history, some intriguing facts, and most importantly, its current collector's market value. You won't believe how much this little 5-cent piece could be worth today. Let's get into it. So before we get into the value, let's quickly take a step back and appreciate the history and design of this nickel. Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and was designed by artist Felix Schlag. It features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, on the obverse or head side. Flip it over, and you'll see an image of Jefferson's historic home Monticello, which is where the coin gets its nickname. Now, the particular coin we're focusing on today is from 1989, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why you'll notice the P mint mark on the right side of the coin, just next to Jefferson's portrait. What makes this coin stand out is its circulated condition with a gray shade, likely the result of years in circulation, giving it a distinctive, well-worn look. When evaluating a coin like this, condition and key features are everything. So what do we look for in a circulated 1989 Jefferson nickel with a gray patina? Circulation marks. As this coin has been in circulation, you'll likely notice signs of wear like faint scratches, dings, or worn-down details, especially around Jefferson's face and Monticello on the reverse. The gray shade, this color, often comes from years of exposure to different elements like air, moisture, and handling. The gray tone can actually give the coin a unique character and sometimes be more appealing to collectors. Mint mark, as mentioned, the P mint mark tells us this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Collectors tend to seek out certain mint marks, and coins from Philadelphia can sometimes carry extra value depending on the year and condition. Rating a coin like this would likely place it in the good to fine range, since it shows circulation wear but retains most of its key details. It's definitely a coin that's seen some history but still holds plenty of appeal. So how rare is this 1989 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark, and why would collectors be interested? Well, over 991 million Jefferson nickels were minted in Philadelphia in 1989, so it's exactly a rare coin in terms of total mintage. However, condition and unique characteristics like the gray shade can make it more desirable to collectors. Some may want to complete their Jefferson nickel collections with coins from different mints and in various conditions, and circulated coins with distinct wear patterns, like this gray shade, can add character to their collection. Additionally, demand can spike if collectors are interested in specific mint years. While the 1989 P is the rarest Jefferson nickel, there's always a market for well-preserved or unique coins. Now, let's talk about what you've all been waiting for: the collector's market value of a 1989 Jefferson nickel with a P mint mark in circulated condition today, depending on the exact condition and level of circulation wear. However, for collectors looking for that distinct gray shade or interested in completing a specific set and investment, the coin can hold slightly more value. In some cases, collectors might be willing to pay up to $300,000 if the coin is in a particularly attractive circulated condition or has some unique wear patterns. It's worth noting that prices can also vary based on demand and market fluctuations, so it's going to break the bank. It's definitely a coin worth keeping an eye on, especially if it has that appealing gray tone we've been talking about. Coin shops. You can also visit local coin dealers. They can help you assess the value of your nickel, and in some cases they might offer you a price on the spot. Coin shows and conventions. If you're really into the hobby, attending a coin show is a great way to meet other collectors and even trade your nickel for something else that might interest you. Next up, we'll be focusing on a specific state quarter that has caught the attention of collectors: the 2007 Montana state quarter with a P mint mark in extra fine condition. This coin represents a piece of American history and could have significant value, especially for those looking to add it to their collection. So let's dive right in. Overview of the Montana state quarter. Before we discuss its value, let's take a moment to appreciate the design of this coin. Released in 2007, the Montana quarter is part of the 50 State Quarters program, a series that ran from 1999 to 2008, honoring each of the 50 states. Montana, the 41st state to join the Union, is commemorated with a quarter that displays its rugged beauty. On the reverse side of the coin, we see a detailed depiction of a bison skull in the center, symbolizing Montana's rich Native American heritage and the historical significance of the American bison in the region. In the background, a beautiful mountainous landscape showcases the big sky country Montana is known for. The The reverse also displays the state's nickname and the date it was admitted into the Union 1889. The obverse side of the coin, like all state quarters, features the iconic image of George Washington, the first president of the United States. But what makes this Montana quarter stand out from other coins in circulation? Let's explore its value today and why collectors are willing to pay more for this piece in extra fine condition. If you look closely at your Montana state quarter, you'll notice a small P located just above the date 2007 on the obverse side of the coin, right next to George Washington's image. That P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, where the coin was struck. When we say that a coin is in extra fine condition, we're referring to its grade, which plays a major role in its market value. A coin in extra fine condition shows light wear only on the highest points of the design. It has nearly full details visible with sharp relief. For example, on the Montana quarter, you would be able to see most of the details on the bison skull, mountains, and George Washington's hair. There may be minor signs of wear, but the overall appearance is still quite sharp and appealing. Collectors love coins in this condition because they are far better preserved than heavily circulated coins. And when a coin has a unique or significant design, like the Montana quarter, its demand among collectors increases. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. What is the market value of this quarter today? The 2007 Montana quarter with P mint mark in extra fine condition has been known to sell for $90,000 on the collector's market. While this may seem like a large increase if you come across a 2007 Montana state quarter with P mint mark and it's in extra fine condition, you might want to hold on to it, especially if you're building a complete collection of state quarters. The value may be sky high yet, and as time goes on, and as fewer of these coins remain in such good condition, their worth could increase. Plus, the satisfaction of having a complete collection or a unique coin in your possession is priceless for many collectors. Next up, we're diving into one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history, the Washington quarter. Specifically, we'll focus on the 1987 Washington quarter with D mint mark, struck in Denver, in very fine condition. Is this quarter hiding some serious value in today's collector market? Stay tuned to find out. The Washington quarter has been a staple in U.S. currency since 1932, first introduced to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. The design, created by sculptor John Flanagan, features a profile of Washington on the obverse, while the reverse displays the familiar image of the American bald eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below. The 1987 with D mint mark Washington quarter follows this classic design with a key feature that makes it special for collectors: the D mint mark, indicating it was minted at the Denver Mint. Now, let's get into the details of this 1987 with D mint mark Washington quarter. This quarter is made of a copper nickel-clad composition, which has been standard for quarters since 1965, replacing the 90% silver versions. The coin weighs 5.67 grams and has a diameter of 24.3 mm. It's not just its metallic composition that collectors care about, though. Grading plays a massive role in the value of any coin. The condition of a coin can mean the difference between pocket change and a collector's treasure. Today we're talking about the 1987 with D mint mark in very fine condition, which is a mid-range grade on the Sheldon scale. So what does very fine actually mean? In very fine condition, the Washington quarter shows light to moderate wear, particularly on the highest points of the design. Washington's hair will show some detail, though worn, and you can still make out a lot of the eagle's feathers on the reverse side. All lettering and dates should be clear and legible, and there might be a few minor scratches or nicks from circulation. Alright, let's get to the big question: how much is the 1987 with D mint mark Washington quarter worth in today's market if it's in very fine condition? While this coin is relatively uncommon due to its mintage numbers, and its value still holds up for collectors who appreciate its history and design. In very fine condition, this coin generally falls within the range $100,000. It might sound like much at first, and let's break it down. To sum it all up, the 1987 with D mint mark Washington quarter in very fine condition is a solid find for any collector, especially if you're working on completing a full set of Washington quarters. While its value might skyrocket like some rare or silver coins, and it's a worthy piece of U.S. history that can still give you a small return above face value. Next up, we're going to talk about the Australian 10-cent coin from 1980 specifically. We'll be exploring the value of one in circulated condition and what that means in today's collector market. Spoiler alert, you might be surprised by how much this little coin could be worth. So stick around, hit that like button, and let's get started. Before we dive into the value, let's first take a quick look at the history of the Australian 10-cent coin. The 10-cent piece was introduced as part of Australia's decimal currency system on February 14, 1966, when the country transitioned from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system. The 10-cent coin features a stunning design of a lyrebird on the reverse, which was created by Stuart Devlin, a famous Australian artist who also designed many other coins for Australia. The obverse side of the coin features none other than Queen Elizabeth II. The 1980 Australia 10-cent coin has her second portrait, designed by Arnold Machin, which shows her wearing a tiara. This portrait was used on Australian coins from 1966 to 1984. The coin itself is made of cupronickel, a durable alloy consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it that iconic silver color. Now, let's talk about the 1980 10-cent coin in particular. This was a common year for minting, with a mintage of over 80 million coins. But here's the interesting part: even though it was widely circulated, finding one in excellent condition today can be a bit challenging. Most of the coins you come across are in circulated condition, showing signs of wear from years of use. Circulated condition means the coin has been used in everyday transactions. So, expect to see wear and tear on the surface, scratches, and perhaps some fading of the intricate details on both the lyrebird and Queen Elizabeth's portrait. But even with this wear, these coins still hold significant value in the collector's market. So, what makes a circulated 1980 Australian 10-cent coin valuable in today's market? Let's break it down. The biggest factor in determining the value of a circulated coin is its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, with circulated coins typically falling somewhere in the good to fine range. Even though circulated coins aren't in perfect condition, a well-preserved coin without major scratches or damage can still fetch a decent price. Now, we already know that 1980 was an especially rare year for 10-cent coins. That doesn't mean the coins are worthless. The key is how many of these coins have survived in decent condition today. As time passes, fewer and fewer of these circulated coins remain in collectible condition, and that drives up their value. Another important factor is the level of demand in the coin collector community. Some collectors focus on building complete sets of Australian coins, while others might be interested in 10-cent coins from specific years or specific conditions. This demand pushes the price higher, even for circulated coins like the 1980 Australia 10-cent piece. Alright, the moment you've all been waiting for: how much is the 1980 Australian 10-cent coin in circulated condition worth in today's collector market? At the time of making this video, the value of a circulated 1980 Australian 10-cent coin typically ranges from about $34,000, depending on its condition. Coins in better circulated condition, meaning less worn with clear details, tend to fetch prices on the higher end of that range. Now, that may not sound like a fortune, but remember, this is for a coin in circulated condition. If you have a bunch of these coins lying around in your old coin jars or collections, it could be worth taking a closer look. If you're wondering how to find out if your coin is valuable, there are a couple of ways to go about it. First, take a good look at the coin. Don't forget, if you have a rare error coin, like a misprint or a coin with a striking mistake, that could increase the value significantly. These coins can sometimes fetch prices far higher than the average circulated coin. Who knew that an old 10-cent coin from 1980 could still hold value in today's collector market? Even in circulated condition, these coins can be worth more than their face value, and that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. Next up, we're exploring a humble but surprisingly valuable coin, the Australia 5-cent 2019, in very fine condition. You'll be amazed at what this coin is worth in today's collector market. So stick around, because we're about to uncover its story and its value in dollars. First things first, let's talk about the coin's background. The Australian 5-cent coin, originally introduced in 1966, features the iconic image of the echidna, one of Australia's unique and beloved animals. Designed by Stuart Devlin, this coin has remained largely unchanged in design for over 5 decades. The 2019 edition, like other 5-cent coins, is made from copper nickel with a weight of 2.83 grams and a diameter of 19.41 millimeters. Despite being the smallest denomination in Australian currency, the 5-cent coin has a fascinating place in the numismatic world. But why 2019? What makes this particular year special? Well, in 2019, the Royal Australian Mint continued to produce these coins, but what many collectors don't realize is that not every year's coin is made equally. Mintage numbers, condition, and scarcity in the collector's market have made the 2019 version quite sought after, especially in very fine or higher grades. Now, when it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. The term very fine refers to a coin that has been circulated but shows only minor signs of wear. It means the details of the design, like the ridges on the echidna's spines or the features on the Queen's portrait, are still sharp and clear, though there might be slight smoothing on the highest points. A 2019 Australia 5-cent coin in very fine condition still has a solid appeal to collectors because it's not heavily worn and it presents well. It's this level of detail that increases its value compared to lower-grade, heavily worn examples. But here's the thing: many of these 2019 Australia 5-cent coins were minted, circulated, and often overlooked because of their low denomination. People spend them without thinking, but collectors know that the condition can make all the difference. So if you found one in very fine condition, you could be sitting on a small treasure. So how many of these coins were made? In 2019, The Royal Australian Mint struck a significant number of 5-cent coins, but not all were released into circulation. Some were set aside for collector sets or simply didn't make it out into the public. This creates an interesting dynamic. Even though the coin isn't particularly old, finding one in very fine condition can be a bit of a challenge. The mintage numbers combined with the condition make it a low-key rarity among collectors. While older or extremely rare coins often steal the spotlight, modern coins like this 2019 Australia 5-cent can also attract attention, especially because people tend to overlook them. That's why it's important to check your change. You never know what you might find. Alright, now for the part you've been waiting for. What is the value of a 2019 5-cent coin in today's collector market? Depending on the condition and demand, these coins can fetch more than their face value. A very fine 2019 5-cent coin, while not as valuable as rare antiques, can still hold a nice premium for collectors who specialize in modern Australian coins. Right now in today's market, you can expect a 2019 Australia 5-cent coin in very fine condition to sell for anywhere between $20,000 now. That may sound like a fortune, but remember, this is for a coin with a face value of just 5 cents. If you have multiple coins in very fine condition, the value adds up. Plus, as time passes and fewer of these coins remain in such good condition, their value could increase. This coin's current value may seem highest. It's important to think about the long-term potential. As more people collect and save these coins, the ones that remain in very fine condition will become rarer, possibly increasing their value over time. It's a low-risk investment that could surprise you in the future. Plus, modern coin collecting is growing in popularity. Collectors, especially those who focus on Australian currency, are starting to recognize the value of these smaller denomination coins. If you have a few of these 2019 Australia 5-cent pieces, it could be worth holding onto them. So, what do you think? Do you have any 2019 Australian 5-cent coins in very fine condition lying around? If so, you might want to check their value, because even the smallest coins can pack a punch in the collector's market. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, modern coins like this one are definitely worth keeping an eye on. Next up, we're going to talk about a coin that many of us have probably come across at some point, the United Kingdom 1 penny from 2001. But here's the big question: could this seemingly common coin actually be worth more than you think? Stick around, because you might be sitting on a hidden treasure. Let's get into it. The 1 penny coin has been a staple of UK currency for centuries, but today we're honing in on the version minted in 2001. Now, at first glance, you might think this coin is just like any other penny in your pocket, but let's take a closer look. The 2001 UK 1 penny was part of the decimal series, first introduced in 1971. The obverse side features a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, which had been in use since 1998. The reverse side shows the traditional depiction of the crowned portcullis with chains, a symbol that goes back to medieval times, representing the Palace of Westminster. Now, you're probably wondering, why would a 1 penny from 2001 in circulated condition hold any significant value? Well, let me break it down for you. There are a couple of reasons why collectors might be paying closer attention to this coin. Second, and perhaps more importantly, condition is everything in coin collecting. Even though we're talking about a circulated coin, there are certain grades of circulated condition, like fine or very fine, that can fetch more than face value. And if you have one that has been particularly well preserved, despite circulation, it could bring in some surprising offers. So, let's talk numbers. The million-dollar question is, how much could this 2001 UK 1 penny in circulated condition actually be worth today on the collector's market? In average circulated condition, these coins typically fetch anywhere $60,000. So, how can you ensure that your 2001 penny is worth as much as possible? First, it's crucial to properly assess the condition of your coin. Even if your penny has seen some wear and tear, it might still be in what collectors call good circulated condition, and that can still hold decent value. Now comes the big decision: should you hold on to your 2001 penny or sell it on the collector's market today? Well, that depends on a few factors. If your coin is in average circulated condition and you're looking to make a quick sale, now might be a good time to sell, as the demand for older pennies is steady, especially for those in better condition. However, if you believe your coin could fetch a higher price in the future, it might be worth holding on to it for a few more years, especially as the market for UK coins, in general, has been trending upwards. As always with coin collecting, patience can pay off. The 2001 United Kingdom 1 penny in circulated condition might seem like much at first glance, and if you take the time to assess it carefully and understand the collector's market, you could be surprised by its value today. Whether you decide to sell or hold on to your penny, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Next up, we're taking a close look at a special and unique coin, the wheat penny 1 cent from 1934, with no mint mark, featuring a beautiful but faded red shade and in poor condition. In 1934, the United States was still recovering from the Great Depression. Pennies were made primarily from copper, with the wheat penny design featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse. This particular design was produced between 1909 and 1958, and it's one of the most iconic coin series in American history. But what makes the 1934 version stand out is that many were produced without a mint mark, meaning they were minted at the Philadelphia Mint. While millions were made, the condition and any unique characteristics of the coin can greatly impact its value today. Grading systems are used to assess how well a coin has been preserved over the years. For this 1934 wheat penny, we're looking at poor condition, which means heavy wear and tear, possible scratches, and loss of definition in the coin's details. While coins in better conditions such as fine or mint state are more desirable, even poor condition coins like this one have their place in the market. While most wheat pennies have a typical brownish or copper color due to age, this one has a noticeable red tint. This red color is the result of its original copper finish that hasn't fully oxidized over the years. Even though the coin is in poor condition, the remaining red hue makes it stand out to collectors. In fact, pennies with red shading often hold higher values than those that have turned entirely brown. So, if you have a 1934 wheat penny with a bit of red left, even in poor condition, it could be worth more than you think. In today's collector market, a 1934 wheat penny without a mint mark in poor condition typically sells for around $200,000. That might sound like much. Here's where it gets interesting. If your 1934 wheat penny has retained that red shading, even in poor condition, collectors might be willing to pay a bit more. Depending on the amount of red and the specific demand at the time, the price could rise to $300,000. This won't make you rich overnight. For a coin that's in poor condition, that's a nice bump in value. Also, keep in mind that values fluctuate based on market demand, so if there's a surge of interest in wheat pennies, prices could increase in the future. Collectors love this coin for its historical value and the fact that it comes from an era when coins were made of real copper. Plus, wheat pennies are highly collectible in general because of their iconic design and the nostalgia they bring. Even coins in poor condition, like this one, have a place in collections, especially if they feature unique characteristics like that red tint we mentioned earlier. Always assess the coin's condition carefully. Even small details can impact its value. As we've seen with the red shade on this coin, small variations can make a big difference. Coin values fluctuate, so keeping an eye on trends can help you get the best price. The 1934 wheat penny, without a mint mark, in poor condition might be a fortune maker. It still holds value in today's market, especially with that unique red shade. If you've got one of these coins lying around, it's definitely worth a second look. Next up, we dive into one of the iconic coins of the United Kingdom, the 10 new pence from 1971. Not just any coin though, we're talking about one that holds significant historical and numismatic value. We'll explore the design, the background, and most importantly, what this coin could be worth in today's collector market, especially in very fine condition. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the fascinating world of coin collecting. The 10 new pence coin was introduced in 1968, 3 years before the United Kingdom officially transitioned to the decimal currency system in 1971. This coin was part of a significant overhaul of the UK's monetary system, where the traditional pounds, shillings, and pence were replaced by a new, more streamlined decimal system. The 1971 UK 10 new pence coin was one of the first issued after the full changeover, marking a historical moment in British currency. Let's take a closer look at the design of this beautiful coin. On the obverse side, we have a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by the renowned artist Arnold Machin. This elegant portrayal of the Queen is iconic and has appeared on many coins from this era. The reverse side features the majestic lion passing garden, a powerful symbol of British strength and history. The coin's denomination, 10 new pence, is boldly displayed, highlighting its value in the newly introduced decimal system. Now, when it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. For today's video, we're focusing on a coin in very fine condition. But what exactly does that mean? A coin in very fine condition shows some signs of wear, but all major details remain clear and sharp. The Queen's portrait will still have most of its detail, though minor imperfections from circulation may be visible. The lion on the reverse will also be well defined, with only light wear on the highest points of the design. So, what is this coin worth today in the collector market? Well, the value of a 1971 UK 10 new pence coin in very fine condition can vary depending on where you look, but generally speaking, the market for British coins is quite active. In today's market, collectors can expect to see this coin valued anywhere from $75,000 in very fine condition. This may seem like a massive sum. It's important to remember that coins like these can increase in value over time, especially as they become rarer in higher conditions. But why is this coin valuable to collectors? First, its significance in British numismatic history makes it highly sought after. Being one of the first decimal coins issued, it holds a special place in the UK's monetary timeline. Additionally, coins in very fine or better condition are harder to find, especially as many of these coins have worn down from decades of circulation. For long-term collectors, holding on to such coins can be seen as an investment, as they could appreciate in value over the coming years. If you're looking to add a 1971 UK 10 new pence coin to your collection, you can often find them at coin shows, online auctions, and specialized numismatic dealers. If you already have one, preserving its condition is key. Always handle your coins by the edges, avoid touching the surface with bare hands, and store them in protective holders to prevent further wear. Keeping your coins in optimal condition ensures that they retain their value or even increase over time. So whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting out, the United Kingdom 10 new pence from 1971 is a great addition to any collection. Its historical significance, attractive design, and potential to grow in value make it a standout piece. Next up, we've got something special for you, the United Kingdom 5 pence coin from 1991, specifically in very fine condition. You might be surprised by how much this small piece of metal can be worth in today's collector market. Let's start with a bit of background on the UK 5 pence coin. The coin we're focusing on today is from 1991, which was part of a series of small-sized 5 pence coins that were introduced in 1990. Before 1990, the 5 pence coins were larger, but they were reduced in size to make them more practical for everyday use. The obverse of the coin features Queen Elizabeth II, as is typical for British coins, with her portrait designed by Raphael Makhlouf. On the reverse, we see the crowned Scottish thistle, which was designed by Christopher Ironside. This design gives the coin a timeless British feel and is beloved by collectors for its simple yet elegant representation of the UK. Now, you might be wondering, why would a 5 pence coin from 1991 have any significant value? After all, these coins were minted in large numbers and used in everyday transactions. Well, like with any coin, condition is king. We're talking about a coin in very fine condition. So, what does that mean? Very fine, or VF for short, means the coin has seen circulation but still retains most of its original details. You might notice slight wear on the highest points of the design, such as the Queen's portrait or the edges of the thistle. But overall, the coin remains sharp and attractive, making it much more valuable than one that's heavily worn or damaged. Now, let's get to the part you're really interested in, the value. A 1991 UK 5 pence coin in very fine condition is exactly going to make you rich overnight. So, what's this coin worth? Well, as of today's market, a United Kingdom 5 pence 1991 coin in very fine condition can go for anywhere between $50,000. That might sound like much at first. For a coin that's only a few decades old, that's a pretty solid return. But why would collectors care about a coin like this? Well, part of it comes down to its place in British numismatic history. The smaller-sized 5 pence coins marked a shift in UK coinage, and for many collectors, completing a set of coins from this era is a must. The 1991 coin, in particular, stands out because it's one of the earlier years of the smaller 5 pence series, making it more desirable than some of the more recent ones. Additionally, coins in very fine condition are always in demand, as collectors want pieces that show their age but haven't been overly damaged. The balance between wear and preservation adds to the appeal, especially for those who collect coins for their historical and aesthetic value, not just their monetary worth. If you're looking to buy or sell a UK 5 pence coin from 1991, here are a few tips to keep in mind. First, always ensure you're accurately assessing the coin's condition. Even small scratches or discoloration can affect its value. Use a magnifying glass to closely inspect the coin before purchasing. Second, when selling, consider listing your coin on trusted auction sites like eBay or specialized numismatic marketplaces. Make sure to highlight the coin's condition, year, and any additional details that might appeal to collectors. And lastly, remember that coin values can fluctuate based on demand, market conditions, and even economic factors. Keep an eye on collector trends and auctions to get the best value for your coin. So, there you have it. The United Kingdom 5 pence 1991 coin in very fine condition may seem like much. For collectors, it holds a unique place in British coinage history. Whether you're looking to sell or simply want to add one to your collection, it's always fascinating to see how something as small as a 5 pence coin can carry such value. Remember, collecting coins isn't just about the money. It's about preserving a piece of history, appreciating the craftsmanship. Next up, we're focusing on an intriguing coin from the United Kingdom, the 2 pence coin from 1991, specifically in very fine condition. We'll explore its history, design, and most importantly, the collector's market value in today's dollars. Stick around to find out if this simple coin might be worth more than you think. Before we jump into its current value, let's first explore the background of the 1991 UK 2 pence coin. This coin is part of the British decimal currency system, which was introduced in 1971 to simplify trade and everyday transactions. It replaced the older pounds, shillings, and pence system. The 2 pence coin, or 2p as it's often called, has been an essential part of the decimal currency lineup ever since. Now, let's take a closer look at the coin. The obverse features the iconic profile of Queen Elizabeth II, as designed by Raphael Makhlouf. This portrait was used on UK coins from 1985 until 1997. The reverse of the coin, however, showcases the badge of the Prince of Wales with a plume of ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, beneath which is the famous motto, HDN, meaning I serve. This design has remained largely unchanged since the coin was introduced in 1971. When it comes to determining a coin's value, condition is key. The coin we're discussing today is in very fine condition. But what does that mean exactly? A coin in very fine condition shows moderate wear, but most details are still sharp and defined. You'll notice light wear on the high points of the design, but the overall look of the coin remains quite strong. For the 1991 UK 2 pence coin, you should still be able to see all the details on Queen Elizabeth's portrait and the Prince of Wales feathers without any significant loss of sharpness. Interestingly, the composition of the 2 pence coin has changed over time. The 1991 version was made of bronze, which consists of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. Bronze coins like this have a reddish hue that can oxidize over time, creating a lovely patina, which collectors often appreciate. However, starting in 1992, the Royal Mint began using copper-plated steel to produce the coin. So if you have a 1991 UK 2 pence, you're holding on to one of the last of the true bronze issues. Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for: the market value of this coin in today's dollars. While the face value of the 1991 UK 2 pence coin is of course just 2 pence, its collector value can be significantly higher depending on the condition and demand. In very fine condition, a 1991 2 pence coin typically sells for between $48,000 on the collector's market today. That may seem like a huge amount. It's important to remember that these values can fluctuate over time based on collector interest, the overall condition of the coin, and the rarity of the specific issue. Of course, the key to higher value lies in rarity, condition, and if there are any unique errors or misprints on the coin. Although the 1991 UK 2 pence coin is particularly rare, keeping it in excellent condition could increase its value in the future, especially if coin collectors begin to show more interest in this era of British currency. So, why would collectors be interested in a coin like the 1991 UK 2 pence? For one, it's a piece of British history and everyday item that connects people to the early years of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. Coins like these, especially when they are no longer being produced in bronze, hold a certain charm for collectors. They are an affordable way to own a piece of history, and over time, who knows, this could become a more sought-after item. Before we wrap up, here are a few tips for preserving and grading coins like the 1991 UK 2 pence. First, always handle coins by their edges to avoid fingerprints. Store them in protective cases to minimize exposure to air, which can cause oxidation. Lastly, if you're serious about collecting, consider having your coins professionally graded by a certified agency. Grading can significantly impact a coin's value, especially if it's in a higher condition category than initially expected. And there you have it. The 1991 2 pence coin might not make you rich overnight, but it's a fascinating piece of numismatic history that could increase in value over time. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, the key is to enjoy the journey of discovering these little treasures. Next up, we have a really special coin that carries both historical significance and a high collector's value: the Australia $1 1997 coin, commemorating the 100th anniversary of the birth of Charles Kingsford Smith, one of Australia's most famous aviation pioneers. This coin has been making waves in the collector's market, especially in very fine condition, and today we'll take an in-depth look at its background, design, and most importantly, its big value in dollars today. So if you're a collector or just someone fascinated by coins, stick around because this is going to be a good one. Before we dive into the coin itself, let's talk about the man who is featured on it: Charles Kingsford Smith. Born in 1897, Smith was a trailblazing Australian aviator who became a national hero through his daring flights and pioneering achievements in aviation. He is most famous for being the first person to complete a non-stop trans-Pacific flight from the United States to Australia in 1928. This incredible journey solidified his place in history, and he was a symbol of courage, innovation, and the spirit of exploration during the early 20th century. Smith's achievements include other record-breaking flights, such as flying from Australia to England and crossing the Tasman Sea to New Zealand. His accomplishments helped put Australia on the map in the aviation world, and he remains one of the country's most respected figures. The coin we're focusing on today was issued in 1997, exactly 100 years after his birth, to honor his legacy. This makes the coin not just a collectible but a tribute to an extraordinary individual who made an everlasting mark on history. Now, let's get to the coin itself. The 1997 Australia $1 coin commemorating Charles Kingsford Smith features a stunning design that captures the essence of his life and achievements. On the obverse side, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which is standard on Australian coinage. But the real magic happens when you flip the coin to the reverse side. On the reverse, you'll see a beautifully detailed portrait of Charles Kingsford Smith, accompanied by an aircraft, the Southern Cross, the plane he used to complete his historic trans-Pacific flight. This aircraft is a vital part of the coin's story as it symbolizes his adventurous spirit and the technological leap that made those long-distance flights possible. What's unique about this coin is how it manages to blend artistry with historical importance. The portrait of Kingsford Smith captures his determination and bravery, while the aircraft pays tribute to his aviation milestones. The design is surrounded by inscriptions reading 100th anniversary of birth and the year 1997. Collectors are particularly drawn to coins that commemorate historical figures and events, and this one, with its aviation theme and the portrayal of a national hero, is no exception. The craftsmanship, symbolism, and historical context make this coin stand out in any collection. Now, let's get into the technical details. This Australia $1 coin is made from aluminum bronze, giving it a distinct golden appearance. It weighs approximately 9 grams and has a diameter of 25 millimeters. When it comes to condition, the one we're focusing on today is in very fine condition. For those of you who are newer to coin collecting, very fine condition refers to a coin that has seen a little circulation but still retains a lot of its detail. You'll notice some minor wear on the high points of the coin, but the design remains sharp and clearly visible. In this condition, it strikes a great balance between affordability and collectability. What makes this coin truly appealing to collectors is its limited mintage. While it's considered extremely rare, and the coin was only produced in certain quantities for that particular year, and given its historical significance, demand for it has risen over the years. As a result, it has become more difficult to find these coins in very fine or better conditions, making them more valuable in today's market. So, how much is this Australia $1 1997 Charles Kingsford Smith coin worth in today's collector market, especially in very fine condition? Here's where it gets exciting for collectors. As of today, depending on the market fluctuations and where you're buying or selling, the 1997 $1 Charles Kingsford Smith coin in very fine condition typically ranges $268,000. The 1997 Australia $1 Charles Kingsford Smith coin is a fascinating piece of numismatic history that has become a prized collectible. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just getting into the hobby, this coin is a must-have for anyone interested in aviation history or Australian culture. With its limited mintage and growing demand, its value in the market today reflects just how cherished this piece has become. Next up, we're going to talk about a very interesting coin, the Monticello Jefferson nickel, specifically the 1964 version without a mint mark, and even more exciting. This particular coin has a distinct green shade due to its aging and exposure to the elements over time. You might be wondering, is this nickel worth more than its face value? Well, stick around because the answer may surprise you. Let's start with the basics. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It was designed by Felix Schlag, and the reverse features a stunning rendition of Monticello, the home of Thomas Jefferson, which is why this coin is often referred to as the Monticello nickel on the obverse. You've got Jefferson himself, facing left. Now, fast forward to 1964. This was a year of high coin production, especially when it came to the Jefferson nickel. More than 1 billion nickels were minted in Philadelphia alone, which is why many coins from this year were made without a mint mark. However, that doesn't mean every 1964 nickel is created equal. There are certain factors that can dramatically increase the value of your coin. One of those factors is condition, but even more interesting in this case is the green shade on the nickel. Over time, the surface of coins can change due to environmental exposure. When a nickel develops a green patina, it's typically due to a reaction between the metal and moisture, resulting in what collectors call toning. This greenish hue gives the coin a unique appearance and can make it stand out in a collection. So what does this mean for the value of a 1964 Monticello nickel without a mint mark that's developed this greenish tone? Well, like most collectible coins, the value is determined by a combination of rarity, condition, and appeal to collectors. Let's break it down. Typically, a 1964 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in fine condition, meaning it shows moderate wear but all major details are still visible, is considered overly rare in most cases. When we add in the toning and unique green patina, things can get more interesting. Coins that develop distinct toning, especially ones that take on a vibrant green shade, can catch the eye of collectors who appreciate their aesthetic appeal. Depending on how pronounced and attractive the toning is, such a coin could sell for more than its usual market value. So, what are we talking about in terms of dollars? If you've got a 1964 Jefferson nickel with a striking green shade, the value could range anywhere from $320,000 depending on the interest from collectors. In rare cases where the toning is particularly unique, the price can go even higher. Especially in online auctions or if it's certified by a grading service, it's uncommon to see toned coins, especially those with interesting coloration, fetching premiums. However, it's important to understand that not all buyers will place the same value on the green patina. Some collectors are looking for pristine, untoned coins, while others love the character and story that toned coins bring. To maximize the value of your coin, you might want to get it professionally graded. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate your coin, assess its condition, and verify the appeal of its toning. Once graded, the coin's value is often boosted, especially in auction settings where certified coins are preferred. So, should you rush to sell your 1964 Jefferson nickel with green toning? It depends on your goals as a collector. If you're in it for the long haul, you might want to hold on to it, as toned coins could gain more value over time as their unique appearances attract more attention. But if you're ready to cash in, there's certainly a market for such coins today. In the world of coin collecting, every detail matters, from condition to color to the story that each coin tells. The 1964 Jefferson nickel may have been minted in massive quantities, but if yours stands out with a unique green tone, you could be holding something a little more special than you might think. Next up, we're taking a look at an iconic coin in the U.S. State Quarter series, the South Carolina State Quarter from the year 2000, specifically the version minted at the Philadelphia Mint, or, as you'll see it marked, the P Mint mark. This coin is a favorite among collectors, not just because it's part of the historic State Quarters program, but also due to its unique design and historical significance. And let me tell you, if you've got one of these coins in very fine condition, you might be sitting on a nice little treasure. So let's talk about the coin itself. The South Carolina State Quarter was released in 2000 as part of the 50 State Quarters program. This program was launched by the United States Mint back in 1999 and ran for a full decade until 2008. Each quarter featured a unique design representing one of the 50 U.S. states, and it was a massive success with collectors. The South Carolina Quarter was the 8th quarter released in the series. On the reverse side of the South Carolina Quarter, you'll find an image that celebrates the state's natural and historical elements. There's a large palmetto tree in the center, which is the official state tree of South Carolina. You'll also see a silhouette of the state, a Carolina wren perched on the tree, and the yellow jessamine, the state flower. The design is intricate, elegant, and truly captures the essence of South Carolina. Now, the specific quarter we're talking about today comes from the Philadelphia Mint, which is indicated by the P Mint mark on the front, just to the right of George Washington's portrait. Alright, now let's get to the good stuff. What is this coin worth in today's collector market, especially in very fine condition? When a coin is in very fine condition, it shows some slight wear, but the major details are still crisp and the overall appearance is solid. It's a common grade for coins that have been in circulation but have been well preserved. For a coin like this South Carolina Quarter from 2000, collectors are often willing to pay a premium based on its condition and demand. As of today, the collector's market places a value on this coin anywhere $100,000 in very fine condition. Now, I know what you're thinking, that does sound like a huge amount of money. If you're aiming to complete the entire 50 State Quarters collection, or perhaps you're focusing on collecting every quarter from a specific mint, then this South Carolina Quarter is an essential piece of that puzzle. And over time, the demand for full sets of these quarters could grow, especially as the State Quarters program becomes more of a historical relic itself. So, whether you've just found one of these South Carolina Quarters in your change, or you're actively building a State Quarter collection, remember, even a coin in very fine condition can hold a bit of extra value, both financially and as part of your overall collection. The South Carolina State Quarter from 2000, with that iconic P Mint mark, is a symbol of American numismatic history. It may be a rare gem worth millions, and it's a valuable piece for collectors looking to celebrate the diversity and beauty of the United States. Next up, we're talking about a true American classic, the 1972 Washington Quarter, a coin that has become a favorite among collectors. Specifically, we'll focus on the version without a mint mark in fine condition. So, let's get into the details. Here we have the 1972 Washington Quarter, a coin that continues to captivate collectors for both its historical significance and its place in modern U.S. coinage. For those unfamiliar, the Washington Quarter has been minted since 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the decades, it has evolved in design and composition, but the 1972 version still retains its classic look. Let's talk about what makes this particular coin without a mint mark so interesting. First, let's discuss the physical features of the 1972 Washington Quarter. If you look at the obverse, you'll see the familiar portrait of George Washington. This design was created by sculptor John Flanagan, and it's been a staple of the quarter for many years. On the reverse, we have the majestic bald eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing the nation's strength and desire for peace. Now let's get into the details. The 1972 Washington Quarter weighs 5.67 grams and its diameter is 24.3 millimeters. This coin was produced from copper nickel, also known as a clad coin, since the United States stopped using silver in most circulating coins after 1964. However, even though it's not silver, the 1972 quarter holds significant value among collectors. One of the first things to note is the lack of a mint mark on this coin, which tells us that it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. In 1972, the Philadelphia Mint didn't include a mint mark on quarters, unlike the Denver and San Francisco mints, which used D and S mint mark respectively. Let's take a moment to consider the time period when this coin was minted. The early 1970s was a transformative time in the United States. The country was in the middle of the Vietnam War, and the economy was feeling the effects of inflation and changing monetary policies. The Washington quarter, which had been an everyday coin since the 1930s, was evolving alongside the nation. Now, the part you've all been waiting for: what's the value of the 1972 Washington quarter without a mint mark, especially in fine condition, on today's collector market? When we talk about fine condition, we're referring to a coin that shows moderate wear. You'll see details on Washington's portrait, but the highest points of the coin, like his hair and the eagle's feathers, will be visibly worn. The coin will have lost its original mint luster, but the major design elements are still intact. In this condition, the 1972 Washington quarter is still valuable, but not as much as higher-grade specimens like those in uncirculated condition. However, collectors often seek out coins from this era because they represent a transition period in U.S. coinage, as silver was phased out in favor of copper-nickel. In fine condition, this coin can fetch anywhere $145,000 on the collector's market today. That may sound like a fortune. So, what does the future hold for the 1972 Washington quarter? In recent years, there's been a growing interest in U.S. clad coins, especially from the 1970s. As fewer of these coins remain in circulation, and as more collectors turn their attention to this era, the value of even lower-grade coins like those in fine condition could rise. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint are often seen as more common, but their appeal continues to grow as more collectors seek to complete full sets from each mint. Why should you consider adding a 1972 Washington quarter to your collection? Well, it's a unique piece of American history, and it's part of a series that's still in circulation today. Completing a set of Washington quarters from different years and mints is a challenge many collectors take on, and the 1972 version is an important part of that puzzle. Next up, we're talking about the Australia 10-cent coin from 1978, and what makes it a gem for collectors, especially in fine condition. We'll explore its design, history, rarity, and most importantly, its market value today in dollars. Let's dive in. First, let's take a closer look at the coin itself. The 1978 Australian 10-cent coin has a very unique design. Like most of Australia's 10-cent coins, it features the famous lyrebird on the reverse side. This bird, with its intricately detailed tail, symbolizes the rich biodiversity of Australia and has been a staple on the coin since the decimal system was introduced in 1966. The reverse of the coin was designed by Stuart Devlin, a highly respected Australian goldsmith and coin designer. You can see the lyrebird in all its glory, with its sweeping feathers, and below it, the denomination -10 cents. This iconic design hasn't changed much over the years, but older coins like the 1978 version have gained more attention due to their age and condition. Now flipping over to the obverse side, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This was designed by Arnold Machin and was used on Australian currency between 1966 and 1984. The portrait itself adds historical significance because it reflects Queen Elizabeth's younger appearance, making these coins a nostalgic piece for many collectors today. But why 1978? What makes this year special for the 10-cent coin? Interestingly, 1978 wasn't a year with any major changes in Australia's coinage system. However, what makes this particular coin stand out is the mintage. With just over 48 million coins minted that year, the 1978 10-cent coin is rare in the sense of extremely low mintage, but its value in the collector's market today depends a lot on its condition. Coins in higher grades, such as fine, very fine, and especially uncirculated, fetch much higher prices compared to those that are heavily circulated and worn out. So, how do you determine if your coin is in fine condition? A coin in fine condition shows moderate wear but retains most of its details. The lyrebird's feathers will be visible, though some parts may be slightly worn. Queen Elizabeth's portrait on the obverse should also be distinguishable, though with minor wear. If your 1978 10-cent coin is in this condition, you could be sitting on a treasure. Now let's get to the part everyone is curious about: the collector's market value. In today's market, the value of a 1978 Australian 10-cent coin in fine condition can vary depending on where you're selling it. On average, these coins are valued at around $58,000 in fine condition. Keep in mind, coin prices fluctuate based on demand, rarity, and of course, condition. While the 1978 Australia 10-cent coin may not make you rich overnight, it can still bring in a nice profit if it's well preserved. So if you're thinking about selling your 1978 Australia 10-cent coin, where should you go? There are a few options. You can sell online on platforms like eBay, where collectors are always hunting for unique finds. Auction houses, coin shops, and even coin shows are great places to consider. Remember, getting your coin graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC can increase its value, especially if it's in near perfect condition. Here's an interesting fact: Australia's 10-cent coin is still in circulation today with the same lyrebird design, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in Australian history. So next time you're checking your change, don't overlook those 10-cent pieces. You might just come across a valuable 1978 coin. If you're a collector, always look for coins in the best possible condition. Avoid those with deep scratches or major wear. And keep your coins in a protective sleeve or holder to preserve their value. And if you stumble upon a 1978 10-cent coin in higher grades, hold on to it. It could become even more valuable as time goes on. So there you have it. The Australia 10-cent coin from 1978 may not be the rarest coin, but in fine condition, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Whether you're looking to sell or simply add to your collection, this coin holds a special place in Australia's numismatic history. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating piece of Australian currency, the 5-cent coin from 2013. If you have one of these tucked away in your collection, you may be sitting on something far more valuable than you think. We'll be looking specifically at the coin in very fine condition and exploring its collector market value in today's dollars. Let's get started. First, a bit of history. The Australian 5-cent coin was introduced in 1966 when the country transitioned from the Australian pound to the Australian dollar. These small coins, featuring the beloved echidna on the reverse, have been in circulation ever since. The design of the 5-cent coin hasn't changed much over the decades, but even modern issues like the 2013 version can have significant appeal to collectors, especially when in very fine condition or better. On the obverse side, you'll see the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, a respected sculptor known for his work on coins. The reverse, designed by Stuart Devlin, features the echidna, an Australian native animal with a distinctive spiny appearance, symbolizing the country's unique wildlife. Now, what does very fine condition mean? Coins in this grade show only minor signs of wear. You'll notice slight flattening on the highest points of the design, like the tips of the echidna's quills or the queen's crown. However, the overall detail remains sharp, and the fields, those flat areas around the design, should still be clean without deep scratches or dings. A coin in very fine condition is a great find because it's circulated but well preserved, making it attractive to collectors. So why is the 2013 Australia 5-cent coin sought after? Unlike some earlier dates, the 2013 version wasn't minted in extremely high numbers compared to other years. While it may seem like an ordinary coin, the lower mintage, combined with the fact that many of these coins have seen heavy circulation, means finding a 2013 Australia 5-cent in very fine condition can be a challenge. This rarity drives demand. Now, the big question: how much is a 2013 Australia 5-cent coin in very fine condition worth on today's collector market? Well, it varies depending on the platform and demand, but let's dive into some numbers. For collectors looking to complete a set of Australian decimal coins, this 5-cent piece could fetch anywhere between $2,000 to $5,000 in very fine condition. That may sound like a fortune. They often purchase in bulk, which can still make it worth selling if you have a few in similar quality. Keep in mind, though, that the true value depends on the buyer's interest, and the coin's condition. Higher grades can fetch even more. Several factors can influence the value of your 2013 Australia 5-cent coin. These include condition. Even within the very fine grade, slight differences in appearance, such as the presence of scratches or luster, can affect the value. Demand. How many collectors are looking for this specific coin? Market trends fluctuate, so a coin's value today might differ a year from now. Supply. As more people become aware of the 2013 coin's potential value, fewer coins in very fine condition may remain available, pushing prices higher over time. To maintain or even increase the value of your coin, proper storage is key. Here are a few tips. Handle with care. Always hold your coins by the edges to avoid fingerprints. Store properly. Use acid-free coin holders or albums to protect your coins from tarnishing and damage. Avoid cleaning. Never clean a coin, even if it looks dirty. Cleaning can reduce the coin's value by leaving scratches or altering its surface. The 2013 Australia 5-cent coin may make you rich overnight. It's still a solid addition to any collection, especially in higher grades. As the years go by and fewer of these coins remain in good condition, their value is likely to rise. Coin collecting is just about immediate profit. It's about building a collection that can appreciate in value over time. So there you have it. The 2013 Australian 5-cent coin in very fine condition may seem small, but its value is steadily growing in the collector market. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this little piece of history could be a gem in your collection. Be sure to check your change and your old coin jars. You never know what valuable coins might be hiding in plain sight. Next up, we'll be diving into the fascinating world of British coinage and examining a popular collectible from the United Kingdom, the 1 penny coin from 1991 in very fine condition. We'll explore its history, its design, and most importantly, its collector market value in dollars today. Let's get started. The United Kingdom 1 penny coin from 1991 holds a special place in British currency history. It's part of the modern decimal coinage system that was introduced in 1971 when Britain transitioned from pounds, shillings, and pence to the new decimal currency system. This transition greatly simplified transactions, and the 1 penny coin became a key part of everyday British commerce. By 1991, the penny had already seen 2 decades of circulation in its decimal form. During this time, the coin featured the third definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, designed by the renowned sculptor Raphael Makhlouf. His portrayal of the Queen was used on British coins between 1985 and 1997. It shows the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, and her regal profile is surrounded by the inscription Elizabeth II DG, Reg. FD, which stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen Defender of the Faith. The reverse of the coin features the iconic portcullis with chains, a symbol of the British Parliament. This design was created by Christopher Ironside and had been featured on the reverse of the penny since the introduction of decimal currency in 1971. Year 1991 appears just beneath the portcullis design. Let's take a quick look at the specifications of the 1991 UK 1 penny coin. The coin is made from bronze with a composition of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. It has a diameter of 20.32 mn and weighs 3.56 grams. Coin's smooth edge and small size make it instantly recognizable. It's important to note that the United Kingdom switched from bronze to copper-plated steel for the 1 penny coin in 1992, so the 1991 version is one of the last of the bronze pennies, which makes it a bit more special for collectors. Now let's talk about why collectors are interested in the 1991 UK 1 penny coin. While it may seem like an everyday coin, its appeal lies in its condition and the history surrounding British coinage at the time. Coins from the 1990s are generally not easy to find in circulated condition, but finding one in very fine condition can be a bit more challenging. Very fine condition means that the coin shows some signs of wear, but much of the design remains clear and sharp. The key features, such as the Queen's portrait and the portcullis on the reverse, are still distinct. Collectors prize these coins because they provide a snapshot of Britain's decimal currency era while still maintaining much of their original detail. Another reason collectors might seek out this particular penny is because of its connection to the final years of the bronze penny. As mentioned earlier, 1991 was the penultimate year before the transition to copper-plated steel pennies, and coins minted from this era can hold a special place in a collection as part of a transitional phase in UK coinage history. Now, on to the most exciting part for collectors, the market value. As of today, the value of a 1991 United Kingdom 1 penny in very fine condition is relatively highest in the current collector's market. The coin is typically valued at $90,000, depending on factors like exact condition, demand, and rarity in a particular market. However, for bulk collectors or those just starting out, a 1991 penny in very fine condition is a not affordable and appealing addition to any British coin collection. While it may have a high individual value like some rare coins, and it can be valuable as part of a broader collection of UK decimal coinage, or for those focused on collecting British pennies from different years and conditions, the United Kingdom 1 penny from 1991 in very fine condition may be a high-value coin, and it certainly holds a unique place in British coinage history. For collectors who enjoy gathering coins from the decimal era or those interested in coins tied to transitional periods, this 1 penny coin is a not affordable yet valuable piece. Next up, we're talking about a piece of American history, the 1942 wheat penny with no mint mark, specifically one with an obverse black shade and in fine condition. If you've come across one of these coins or are just curious about their value, you're in for a treat. So, let's dive in. First things first, let's break down the basics. The wheat penny, or Lincoln wheat cent, was minted from 1909 to 1958, and it features President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse or front side of the coin. On the reverse, you'll find 2 wheat stalks, hence the nickname wheat penny. The coin we're discussing today was struck in 1942 during a pivotal time in world history, right in the middle of World War II. 1942 was a significant year for the United States. The country had just entered World War II after the attack on Pearl Harbor, and the U.S. Mint was still producing millions of pennies during this time. However, materials were in high demand for the war effort, and soon after, the mint would switch to producing steel pennies to save copper for the war. But the 1942 wheat penny still contains the classic copper composition. Now, let's talk about the specifics of this 1942 wheat penny. One of the defining characteristics of the coin we're focusing on is the lack of a mint mark, which indicates that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia was the primary mint for U.S. coinage and didn't include a mint mark on its coins at the time. So, if your 1942 penny doesn't have a mint mark, you're looking at one made in Philly. Another interesting feature of this coin is the obverse black shade. This discoloration could be the result of oxidation or environmental exposure over the years. It may necessarily increase the value. It does give the coin a unique appearance that some collectors might find interesting. Always remember that proper coin care and storage can help prevent further deterioration. So how does this black shade affect the value? Well, when it comes to coin grading, condition is key. Since this particular penny is in fine condition, it's a middle-of-the-road grade. Fine condition means some wear is visible, especially on Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks on the reverse, but major details are still intact. The black shade might be seen as damage by some collectors, but others may view it as a sign of age or uniqueness. It all depends on the buyer. When we say fine condition, it means that the coin has seen circulation, but it's not heavily worn. On the Sheldon grading scale, which ranges from 1 to 70, a coin in fine condition would rank around 12 to 15. That's important to remember when we start talking about value. Now, let's get to what everyone's waiting for: the current market value of the 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark. With obverse black shade in fine condition, typically ranges $350,000. Keep in mind that this is for a coin in circulated fine condition, and we're talking about a penny from over 80 years ago. Of course, condition plays a massive role. If you had a 1942 penny in mint or uncirculated condition, the value could rise significantly, sometimes even more, depending on the coin's rarity and demand in the market. Another factor that affects the value is collector demand. Wheat pennies are incredibly popular among both beginner and seasoned collectors, so there's always a market for them. The value might fluctuate over time depending on the broader coin market and historical significance. So is the 1942 wheat penny a jackpot coin? Maybe for this specific fine condition coin with the black shade, it's still a fascinating piece of history. Plus, the value can increase over time, especially as older coins become scarcer in decent condition. If you've got one in your collection, it's worth holding on to. Next up, we've got a very exciting coin to talk about: the United Kingdom 10 pence coin from 2001. While it may seem like just another small coin in your change, you might be surprised to learn that this little piece of history could have a big value in the collector's market, especially if it's in fine condition. So how much is it worth in dollars today? Stick around to find out. Alright, before we get into the current market value, let's take a quick look at the history of the United Kingdom's 10 pence coin. The 10 pence coin has been part of the UK's currency system since 1968, but the one we're focusing on today comes from the year 2001. This coin features the third portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which was designed by Ian Rank Broadley, one of the UK's most famous coin designers. His initials, IRB, can be found on the bottom of the Queen's portrait. On the reverse side of the coin, you have a depiction of a crowned lion, which symbolizes the strength and resilience of the United Kingdom. This design was created by Christopher Ironside, who was responsible for many of the classic British coin designs. The 2001 version of the 10 pence coin is made from cupro nickel and weighs 6.5 grams with a diameter of 24.5 mm. It's the oldest or the rarest coin in the UK. This coin has piqued the interest of collectors, and we're going to talk about why. Now, let's talk about the coin's rarity and its condition, which play a huge role in determining its value in today's market. The 10 pence coins from 2001 are considered extremely rare, but they are starting to gain some traction in the collector community, especially as time passes. You see, when coins are over 2 decades old, fewer remain in circulation in good condition, making well-preserved examples more desirable. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. The coin we're focusing on today is in fine condition. Now, in the world of numismatics, fine condition typically means the coin has been in circulation and shows visible signs of wear. The design details might be slightly smoothed out, but the coin is still relatively clean and intact. It's far from uncirculated or mint condition, but it's not completely worn down either. Fine condition is a sweet spot for many collectors, especially if the coin has historical significance or is from a specific year like this 2001 UK 10 pence. Alright, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for: how much is this coin worth in today's market? The value of a United Kingdom 10 pence coin from 2001 in fine condition can vary depending on several factors like demand, rarity, and the collector's interest. As of today, the general value of this coin in fine condition is around $25,000. Keep in mind, that's for a fine condition coin. If you were to find this same 10 pence coin in uncirculated or mint condition, its value could increase significantly. Over time, as fewer of these coins remain in circulation, the value is expected to increase, especially for those in top condition. So, why are collectors interested in this specific coin? There are a few reasons. First, the historic value. The coin features Queen Elizabeth II, and with her recent passing, any coin with her portrait is likely to gain more significance in the future. Collectors are often eager to grab coins from her reign while they're still relatively affordable. Second, as we mentioned earlier, the design itself is iconic. The lion on the reverse of the coin is a symbol of British pride and strength. Having that in your collection, especially from the early 2000s, is like owning a small piece of the UK's rich history. If you're interested in adding a United Kingdom 10 pence 2001 coin to your collection, you're in luck. You can still find these coins in circulation, though it's becoming increasingly rare. However, your best bet would be to check online auction sites, coin shops, and coin shows. If you're lucky, you might find someone selling a 2001 UK 10 pence in fine condition for a reasonable price. Keep an eye on eBay, Etsy, and specialized coin selling platforms like Numista or Katawiki. When buying, make sure to check the seller's reputation and the coin's condition. Ask for detailed photos, and if possible, see if it has been graded by a professional grading service to ensure its authenticity. And there you have it. The United Kingdom 10 pence coin from 2001 might make you an overnight millionaire, but it's a valuable addition to any collection, especially if you can find it in good condition. As time goes on, the value of these coins is likely to rise, so keep your eyes peeled for one of these gems in your spare change or while browsing your local coin shop. Next up, we're diving into the fascinating world of a seemingly ordinary coin that has captured the attention of numismatists globally, the United Kingdom 5 pence from 1998. This coin, in very fine condition and with a unique grayish shade, has become a topic of great interest in today's collector market. But what makes this 5 pence coin so special? And could it really be worth a small fortune in dollars today? Let's explore. Before we get into the details of the 1998 UK 5 pence, let's first understand its background. The 5 pence coin was introduced as part of the decimalization of British currency in 1968. It replaced the shilling, a long-standing part of British coinage. The new decimal system was designed to simplify currency and make it easier to use in daily life. Originally, the 5 pence coin had a much larger size, but in 1990, it was reduced to the smaller size we know today, which is still in use. The 1998 UK 5 pence coin is part of this smaller, modern design. What's special about the 1998 version is its distinct look and, as we'll see, its growing value in the collector market. So, what makes the 1998 5 pence coin stand out? First, it features a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This design is iconic and is often referred to as the fourth portrait of the Queen, which was used on British coins between 1998 and 2015. On the reverse, you'll find the traditional crown thistle, symbolizing Scotland, a design by Christopher Ironside. But here's the interesting part: while this coin was minted in large quantities for circulation, there are rare variations that collectors look for. One key feature is the coin's unusual grayish shade. This can be a result of natural oxidation or unique toning, which, in very fine condition, can add a layer of rarity and aesthetic appeal. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin's grade can dramatically impact its value. The 1998 5 pence in very fine VF condition means the coin has some light wear, especially on the highest points of the design, but the details are still sharp and clear. It's far from a mint or uncirculated condition, but it's highly desirable among collectors who want to preserve the coin's history while appreciating its character. For a very fine 1998 UK 5 pence coin with a grey shade, collectors appreciate that it has been in circulation but still retains much of its original detail. This kind of wear gives the coin a unique patina that many coin enthusiasts find attractive. Now let's get to the part everyone is waiting for: the market value of the 1998 UK 5 pence coin in today's collector market. While this coin may seem uncommon, its unique features, especially the grayish shade and VF condition, can make it more valuable than you might think. In 2024, the value of a standard 1998 5 pence in fine to very fine condition typically ranges from $47,000. However, if the coin exhibits a distinctive toning or a gray shade that gives it a unique appearance, collectors are willing to pay a premium for it. Such coins could fetch anywhere between $200,000 depending on the buyer's interest. It's important to note that coins in this price range are more likely to be sold in niche collector markets, where individuals are seeking out coins with special features like unusual toning or wear patterns. It's going to make you a millionaire. It's impressive to see how a simple 5 pence can turn into a collectible item worth several times its face value. So, if you're a collector or just someone who's curious about the coins in your pocket, here are some tips for finding valuable 1998 UK 5 pence coins. Check for toning or unique coloring. A grayish or darker tone can make the coin stand out and increase its value. Inspect the condition. While VF condition is desirable, even higher grades like extra fine or uncirculated will naturally increase its value even more. Minting errors. Keep an eye out for any minting errors, though rare, as these can multiply the coin's worth. Patina appeal. A coin with an attractive patina, or natural aging effect, is often more desirable to collectors than a cleaned or polished coin. Who knew that a small, everyday coin like the 1998 UK 5 pence could have such potential? Whether you're new to coin collecting or a seasoned expert, it's always worth taking a second look at the change in your pocket. You might just have a coin that collectors are eager to add to their collections. Next up, we're shining the spotlight on a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance but could actually be worth more than you'd expect in today's collector market: the United Kingdom 2 pence coin from 1986. In very fine condition. Whether you're new to coin collecting or a seasoned pro, you'll want to stick around to find out how much this small copper coin could be worth in dollars today. Coin United Kingdom 2 pence. Year 1986. Condition very fine. Metal composition bronze. Current collector. Value in dollars. Stay tuned to find out. Before we get into the big question of how much this coin is worth today, let's take a quick trip back in time. The United Kingdom's decimalization of currency began in 1971, marking the end of the old pounds, shillings, and pence system. The 2 pence coin was introduced as part of the decimalization, and it's been a common piece of British currency ever since. But just because this coin is common doesn't mean it's without value, especially for collectors. The 1986 UK 2 pence coin falls into the decimal series, and what makes it stand out is its age, condition, and specific details that we'll get into. Let's talk about the design. On the obverse, we have the famous portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This was a common portrait on UK coins between 1968 and 1984, and it showcases the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The reverse, of course, displays the iconic badge of the Prince of Wales with the famous ostrich feathers and the motto, HDN, meaning I serve, in German. The denomination, 2 pence, is prominently displayed at the bottom. These design elements are key to the coin's identity and can also impact its value. While the 2 pence coin design hasn't changed much over the years, collectors are always on the lookout for specific mint years and rare features. Now, the condition of any coin is critical when determining its value. The 1986 UK 2 pence coin we're talking about today is in very fine condition. So what exactly does that mean? In coin grading, very fine means the coin has been circulated, but it still retains much of its original detail. You'll notice some wear on the high points of the design, like Queen Elizabeth's hair and the Prince of Wales' feathers, but most of the details are still sharp and visible. If this coin were in uncirculated condition, its value could be even higher, but even in very fine condition, this 1986 UK 2 pence coin has its place in the collector market. So why would anyone be interested in this specific 1986 coin? One word: rarity. Millions of 2 pence coins were minted in the 1980s. The 1986 UK 2 pence coin is the rare. It is part of a series that's highly collectible, and when you combine that with its age, nearly 40 years old, it's definitely a desirable piece for those looking to complete their decimal collection. In very fine condition, this coin is especially appealing because it maintains much of its original beauty while still being accessible in terms of price. Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for: the current collector market value. While the face value of this coin is just 2 pence, in today's market it could be worth more. In very fine condition, the 1986 United Kingdom 2 pence coin typically sells for around $53,000 in the collector market. That might sound like a lot, but considering its face value is just a fraction of that, it's definitely a nice little boost for a small coin. And remember, if you find one in even better condition, like extra fine or uncirculated, the value could increase even more. So there you have it. The United Kingdom 2 pence coin from 1986 may make you rich overnight, but it's a fascinating piece of British history that can hold more value than meets the eye. If you have one lying around, or you're thinking of adding one to your collection, now you know what to expect when it comes to its market value. Next up, we're diving deep into a fascinating piece of history and numismatics: the Australia $1 coin commemorating the 60th anniversary of the end of World War II, minted in 2005. Not only is this coin rich in historical significance, but it also holds considerable value in the collector's market today. If you're a coin enthusiast or just curious about this remarkable piece, stick around as we uncover its story, design, and current market value. To understand the significance of the 2005 Australian $1 coin, we must first look at the historical context. World War II officially ended in 1945, marking a pivotal moment in global history. Australia played a crucial role in the war, contributing troops and resources to the Allied effort. The 60th anniversary of this monumental event was not just a commemoration of victory, but also a reflection on the sacrifices made by countless Australians during the war. In 2005, the Royal Australian Mint decided to honor this anniversary by issuing a special edition $1 coin. This coin serves as a reminder of the resilience and unity demonstrated by Australians during one of the most challenging times in history. Now let's talk about the design of the coin itself. The 2005 $1 coin features a distinctive design that pays tribute to the end of World War II. On the reverse side, you'll find an image of a dove and an olive branch, symbolizing peace and reconciliation. The inscription around the edge reads 60th anniversary of the end of World War II. This design not only honors the past but also sends a message of hope for the future. The obverse side showcases the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, which is standard for Australian coins. The coin is struck in an extra fine condition, meaning it has minimal wear and retains most of its original luster, making it even more desirable to collectors. The Royal Australian Mint produced a limited number of these coins, making them a sought-after item in the numismatic community. The 2005 Australian $1 coin is made from an aluminum bronze alloy, giving it a unique color and weight. It has a diameter of 25 millimeters and weighs 9 grams. The limited mintage combined with its historical significance contributes to its appeal. Coins like this one often become collector's items, appreciated not only for their monetary value but also for their connection to significant historical events. Now let's discuss the current market value of the Australia $1 60th anniversary coin. As of today, this coin in extra fine condition can fetch impressive prices on the collector's market. Prices can vary widely based on factors such as condition, rarity, and demand. In recent sales, you might find this coin listed anywhere $200,000, depending on where it's sold. The Australia $1 coin commemorating the 60th anniversary of the end of World War II is more than just a piece of currency. It's a symbol of peace, resilience, and the importance of remembering our past. With its current market value and collectible nature, it's a fantastic addition to any numismatic collection. Next up, we're diving deep into the 2000 with D Sacagawea dollar, focusing on its unique history, fine condition grading, and most importantly, what collectors are willing to pay for it in today's market. The Sacagawea dollar was introduced in the year 2000 to replace the Susan B. Anthony dollar coin, which hadn't gained much popularity. The U.S. Mint chose Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who played a key role in the Lewis and Clark expedition, to honor Native American history and contributions. The obverse of the coin shows Sacagawea carrying her son, John Baptiste Charbonneau, designed by Glenna Goodacre, while the reverse features an American bald eagle in flight, designed by Thomas D. Rogers SR, minted in Denver. The D mint mark on the Sacagawea dollar refers to the Denver Mint, where millions of these coins were struck in the year 2000. Despite the small mintage, certain coins like this one in fine condition are still popular among collectors. When we talk about a coin being in fine condition, we're referring to its grading. Grading is the process of determining a coin's state based on its wear, appearance, and quality. A fine condition coin has moderate wear with major features still visible, but you'll notice signs of circulation. On a 2000 with D Sacagawea dollar in fine condition, Sacagawea's facial details might be worn, but you can still make out the majority of the coin's design elements. While a coin in uncirculated or mint state condition might be more visually striking, a fine condition coin still has value, especially if it comes from a significant year or mint, like this one from Denver. Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for. What's this coin worth today? While Sacagawea dollars are still technically in circulation, coins like the 2000 with D in fine condition are mostly sought after by collectors. In today's collector market, a 2000 with D Sacagawea dollar in fine condition is generally valued between $350,000 depending on factors such as the clarity of its design and the overall eye appeal. While this might sound like a fortune, the key to value with coins is their condition, rarity, and collector demand. The 2000 with D Sacagawea dollar was part of the very first year this dollar was issued, making it a key coin for collectors building a complete series. Additionally, its historical significance and the initial excitement surrounding the Sacagawea dollar program have kept it relevant in the numismatic world. Collectors often look for well-preserved coins from the first year of a series, and the 2000 with D Denver Mint issue is no exception. Even though millions were struck, finding one in higher grades, especially in circulated condition, can still be a rewarding discovery for coin enthusiasts. Before you rush to sell or buy a Sacagawea dollar, it's essential to make sure it's authentic. First, check for the mint mark under the year D for Denver on this particular coin. Ensure the design details are sharp, even if the coin shows some wear. Genuine Sacagawea dollars should weigh about 8.1 grams and have a diameter of 26.5 mm. Be cautious of any coins that seem too light, too heavy, or have incorrect design elements, as counterfeits do exist in the numismatic world. If you're looking to buy or sell a 2000 with D Sacagawea dollar, there are several options. Remember, the value of coins like the Sacagawea dollar can fluctuate based on market demand, so it's worth keeping an eye on trends or speaking with a knowledgeable coin dealer. So, whether you've just found a 2000 with D Sacagawea dollar in your change, or you're a seasoned collector, there's definitely a place for this coin in the world of numismatics. While it may sky-high value today, its historical significance and collector appeal make it a great addition to any collection. Next up, we're diving into a coin that represents one of the most majestic and wild states in the USA, Alaska. Specifically, we'll be discussing the USA 1/4 dollar Alaska state quarter from 2008, minted with a P mint mark and in very good condition. This state quarter is more than just loose change, it's a part of the much-loved 50 state quarters program. We'll be exploring its design, history, rarity, and most importantly, its big value in today's coin collector market. So if you're ready to learn more about this fascinating piece of numismatic history and how much it's worth today, stick around to the end of this video. Let's jump right in. Before we dive into the market value of the 2008 Alaska state quarter, let's take a moment to appreciate its stunning design and understand its place in history. The Alaska quarter was released in 2008 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Each quarter in the series features a design unique to one of the 50 states. For Alaska, the design represents the raw, untamed wilderness that the state is known for. On the reverse side of the coin, we see a powerful grizzly bear standing tall as it grasps a salmon in its jaws. This image not only symbolizes the state's abundant wildlife, but also Alaska's significance as a major hub for salmon fishing. In the background, you can also spot the peaks of towering mountains, signifying Alaska's rugged landscapes. Inscribed above the bear is the state's official motto, "The Great Land," paying tribute to its vast, largely untouched terrain. The obverse side of the coin, as with all quarters in this series, features the familiar profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Now, let's talk about the mint mark. This particular Alaska quarter we're focusing on today bears the P mint mark, indicating that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint is one of the main branches of the United States Mint. Quarters minted in Philadelphia have the P mark on the right side of Washington's neck, just below the "In God We Trust" inscription. Although the Alaska state quarter was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, the P mint mark version is of particular interest to collectors due to varying levels of mintage and distribution, which can impact its market value. The Alaska quarter we're discussing is in very good condition. For those new to coin collecting, let's break down what this means. In the world of numismatics, coins are graded based on their level of wear, from pristine, uncirculated coins to those that have seen significant circulation. Coins in very good condition are typically described as having moderate wear, especially on the highest points of the design, but the details are still clearly visible. For this Alaska quarter, you might see some wear on the grizzly bear, the salmon, and the mountains in the background, but the overall image should still be distinct and recognizable. There may be minor scratches or dings, but none that significantly detract from the coin's appearance. While very good is not the highest grade in the coin world, it's still a condition that holds value, particularly for collectors of state quarters or those looking to complete a collection. Now, you might be wondering what makes this 2008 Alaska quarter with P mint mark special. In terms of rarity, Alaska state quarters are the rarest in the series, and demand for state quarters, especially in good to very good condition, has grown over the years. With the 50 state quarters program having concluded in 2008, many people are looking to complete their collections, and the Alaska quarter often holds a special place due to its striking design and symbolic representation of American wildlife and wilderness. It's worth noting that collectors also tend to seek out coins with unique errors or variants, but that's a subject for another video. Let's get to the moment you've been waiting for: the market value of this 2008 Alaska quarter with P mint mark in very good condition. While the face value of this coin is of course just 25 cents, the collector market often assigns a higher value depending on factors like condition, mint mark, and demand. As of today, the market value for an Alaska state quarter in very good condition typically ranges $87,000. You might find some collectors willing to pay on the higher end of that spectrum, especially if the quarter is part of a nearly complete state quarter collection. Now, is it worth holding on to this quarter, or should you sell it? That depends on your personal goals as a collector. If you're aiming to complete the full 50 state quarter set, you'll definitely want to keep this one. The Alaska quarter is a key part of the collection, and even in very good condition, it's a valuable piece of numismatic history. Next up, we've got a special treat for you: an in-depth look at a highly collectible U.S. coin, the 1998 Washington quarter with the P mint mark in extra fine condition. And trust me, this quarter packs a surprising punch in the collector's market today. Stick around and we'll uncover the big value of this 1998 gem and explore why it's in high demand. Let's start with a little history behind this beauty. The Washington quarter is a classic piece of American coinage, originally introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It has since become a staple in U.S. currency, evolving in both design and significance over the years. Now, the quarter we're talking about today, the 1998 version, was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the P mint mark, which you'll find right behind Washington's ponytail on the obverse side. What makes this coin particularly special in extra fine condition is how well the details have been preserved, despite the fact that it was meant for circulation. So, what does extra fine condition actually mean? In numismatic terms, coins in extra fine condition exhibit only slight wear on the high points, with nearly all the design elements still sharp and clear. On this 1998 quarter, you'll notice minimal wear on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers on the reverse side. It's these small details that can make a huge difference when assessing the value of a coin like this. So how much is a 1998 Washington quarter with the P mint mark worth in today's collector market? In extra fine condition, like the one we're talking about today, you could be looking at a value anywhere $90,000, depending on the buyer's interest and the coin's specific condition. Why are collectors willing to pay more for this coin in extra fine condition? Well, it comes down to a few key reasons. First, Washington quarters from the late 1990s aren't considered vintage, but they're slowly gaining traction among collectors who want to complete their sets of modern quarters in top condition. The extra fine grading is critical because these coins are starting to disappear from circulation, and finding them with only minimal wear is becoming harder each year. Another factor driving the demand for the 1998 P Washington quarter is its role as one of the last years before the introduction of the state quarters program in 1999, which revolutionized coin collecting in the US. As more collectors focus on the modern quarter series, interest in pre-state quarter issues like this 1998 coin has been growing. So if you have a 1998 Washington quarter in extra fine condition tucked away somewhere, you might want to take a closer look at it. It could be worth much more than you think. Now, let's talk about how you can assess your own 1998 quarter to see if it meets the extra fine condition standard. First, you'll want to check for any major signs of wear, especially on Washington's cheek and hair on the obverse side and the eagle's feathers on the reverse side. If the details are still sharp and the wear is minimal, you might have an extra fine coin on your hands. Next up, we're taking a closer look at a fascinating coin, the Australia 10-cent coin from 2016 in very fine condition with some noticeable dirt. You might think it's just a regular piece of change, but hold on, because we're going to uncover its collector's market value today and why it might be worth keeping an eye on this coin right here. Yes, this small, simple Australian 10-cent piece could be more than just pocket change, even with a bit of dirt on it. So stick around as we dive into its design, historical background, and most importantly, its current value in the collector's market. First things first, let's talk about the Australia 10-cent coin itself. This coin is part of Australia's decimal currency system, which was introduced back in 1966. The 10-cent coin features a very distinct design that has remained largely unchanged over the years. On the reverse, you'll see a lovely lyrebird, one of Australia's most iconic birds, which is known for its ability to mimic natural and artificial sounds. This intricate design was created by Stuart Devlin, the same artist behind several other Australian coins. The obverse side features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. The Queen's portrait has evolved over the years, but the version on this 2016 coin is the one introduced in 1998, a regal and detailed depiction of the late monarch. Now, let's talk about the condition of this coin. You might be wondering, what does very fine even mean? In the coin collecting world, condition plays a huge role in determining the value of a coin. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from poor to mint state, with various grades in between like good, fine, very fine, extra fine, and so on. A coin in very fine condition typically means it has seen circulation but is still in reasonably good shape. The details on the design are still clear, though there may be some signs of wear, especially on the higher points of the design. In the case of this 2016 Australia 10-cent coin, it has some dirt on it, which is common for coins that have been in circulation for a few years. The presence of dirt doesn't necessarily affect the value drastically, but it's important to note when determining the coin's condition. So why are we talking about the 2016 10-cent coin in particular? Is it rare? Not exactly. The 2016 coin isn't classified as a rare coin because it was minted in large quantities by the Royal Australian Mint. However, there's always interest from collectors who focus on modern coins in particular conditions or with unique characteristics. While millions of these coins were minted, the value comes into play when you consider the condition, specific demand, and even small minting errors that might have occurred during production. Some collectors are particularly interested in coins from specific years to complete sets, and the 2016 coin, despite being relatively recent, can still hold value for them. The dirt on this coin might give it a unique character. While some collectors prefer coins in pristine condition, others might find appeal in the natural wear and tear that reflects the coin's journey through time. It's all about finding the right buyer. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, what's the collector market value of this 2016 Australia 10-cent coin in very fine condition with dirt? As of today, for a very fine condition coin like the one we're talking about, you might expect it to be at the upper end of that range, possibly around $20,000. The dirt itself doesn't drastically decrease the value unless it obscures the design too much, but the overall grading still holds importance. Now, it's important to mention that this value can vary depending on where you're selling the coin. Auction sites, local coin dealers, or online collector groups might offer slightly different prices depending on how rare they think your coin is, its condition, and the demand at the time. For some collectors, they might pay more if the coin completes a set or if they're particularly interested in the year 2016. While this coin may be super rare, it's still a solid find if you're building a collection of modern Australian coins or want to sell it as part of a larger lot. So, should you keep this coin? Well, that depends on your goals as a collector. If you're building a modern Australian coin set, then this 2016 10-cent coin is definitely worth holding onto. It's a great example of Australia's modern currency and could appreciate in value over time, especially if the coin market grows for Australian collectibles. If you're just looking to sell, you might not make a fortune off a single coin like this one, but if you have a few coins in similar conditions from different years, you could sell them as a set and potentially get a better value. Next up, we'll be talking about a small but mighty coin, the Australia 5-cent coin from 1995. What makes this seemingly common coin so special in today's collector market, and how much is it really worth in dollars today? Stay tuned because you'll be surprised. At first glance, the Australian 5-cent coin might look like your typical small change often overlooked in pockets and jars. But did you know that some 5-cent coins from 1995 can fetch an impressive value on the collector's market, especially if they're in circulated condition? Before we dive into its value, let's take a moment to appreciate the history and design of this coin. The Australian 5-cent coin has been in circulation since 1966, and its design has remained largely unchanged. On the reverse side, we see the famous echidna, an iconic Australian animal that looks like a porcupine but with a unique Australian twist. This design was created by Stuart Devlin, the same artist responsible for many of Australia's other coins. The echidna is a perfect representation of Australia's unique wildlife, and Devlin's intricate detailing of the spikes and overall appearance has made the design a favorite among collectors. On the obverse, we have the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which has been a consistent feature on Australian coins. The portrait on the 1995 coin was done by Raphael Makhlouf, whose elegant depiction of the Queen adds a royal touch to this small denomination. So, what makes the 1995 Australian 5-cent coin stand out? Well, one factor is the mintage number. In 1995, approximately 55.5 million 5-cent coins were struck. While this may seem like a large number, many of these coins have disappeared from circulation over time, either due to wear, damage, or being lost. Finding a 1995 Australia 5-cent coin in good circulated condition today is becoming increasingly rare. Collectors are particularly interested in coins that have been circulated but are still in decent shape. Why? Because circulated coins carry a bit of history with them. They've passed through countless hands, been part of daily life, and now they hold more than just monetary value. If you come across a 1995 Australian 5-cent coin with moderate wear, you might be holding on to something more valuable than you think. Now let's get to the part you've been waiting for, the market value. How much can a circulated 1995 Australian 5-cent coin fetch in today's collector market? Circulated 1995 Australian 5-cent coins can sell for anywhere between $32,000, however, depending on the condition of the coin. Some sellers have been able to list their coins for higher prices, ranging from $45,000, especially if the coin has minimal wear and sharp details. What drives the price up? It's all about condition and demand. The better the condition of your 1995 5-cent coin, even if it's circulated, the more attractive it becomes to collectors. Coins with fewer scratches, clearer designs, and good overall appearance tend to sell for higher prices. And with more people starting to recognize the significance of older circulated coins, the demand has been rising steadily. According to coin experts, the 1995 Australia 5-cent coin might seem like a jackpot item. It holds potential for long-term value. As fewer of these coins remain in circulation, and as collectors continue to search for older, well-preserved coins, the value of these 1995 Australia 5-cent pieces could increase over time. So, if you come across one of these coins in your change, or maybe you already have a few in your collection, hold on to them. You never know how much they could be worth in a few more years. Who knew that such a small coin could hold so much value, right? The 1995 Australian 5-cent coin is proof that even the most common denominations can become collectible treasures over time. Next up, we're talking about the United Kingdom 1 penny from the year 2000 in dirty or worn condition. You might wonder, can a simple, often tarnished 1 penny coin have significant value? Well, it may surprise you, but under the right circumstances, even a dirty coin from this era can pique the interest of collectors. Let's start with the basics. The 1 penny coin, minted in 2000, features the iconic image of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse. The reverse side shows the crown portcullis, a design that's been standard on British pennies since 1971, when the decimalization of British currency began. Now, here's where it gets interesting: condition. If your 2000 penny is dirty or worn, you might think it's worthless, but in some cases, a coin's condition adds to its character. Collectors seeking to complete year sets often look for unique examples, and a dirty or tarnished coin can stand out, especially if it has any interesting toning or patina that forms naturally over time. A dirty or tarnished coin can often develop a patina, which is a thin layer of coloration caused by oxidation or exposure to the environment. While this might look undesirable to some, certain collectors are drawn to coins with such features, as they tell a story about the coin's journey through time. Another factor to consider when determining the value of your 2000 UK penny is whether it has any minting errors. Errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, or even rare variations in the metal composition can significantly increase the value of a coin, regardless of its condition. While these errors are rare, it's always worth checking to see if your penny is more than meets the eye. As of today, the value of a 2000 UK 1 penny in dirty or worn condition can vary widely. However, coins with significant patina, toning, or those that form part of a collector's year set may sell for $50,000. Now, a word of caution: if you've got a dirty 1 penny coin from 2000, resist the temptation to clean it. In the world of coin collecting, cleaning coins can often reduce their value. The natural patina and dirt, as unattractive as it may seem, can be part of what makes the coin appealing to collectors. Harsh cleaning can damage the coin's surface and strip away its historical character, reducing its value significantly. So there you have it. The 2000 United Kingdom 1 penny, even in dirty or worn condition, can still hold value in the collector's market. Whether you have one sitting in your pocket or in an old coin jar, it might just be worth checking to see if your humble penny could turn into a collector's pride. Next up, we're exploring a unique piece of history: the wheat penny, 1 cent 1946, without a mint mark, in red and black shades and graded in very fine condition. Could this penny be sitting in your collection right now, worth way more than you think? Let's find out. Before we jump into the value of this specific coin, let's take a quick look at its history. The 1946 wheat penny is part of the iconic Lincoln wheat cent series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. After World War II ended in 1945, the United States was rebuilding. However, the coin we're focusing on today, from 1946, was minted in Philadelphia. That's why you won't find a mint mark on it, because Philadelphia didn't use a mint mark on pennies at the time. Over 991 million of these coins were produced in Philadelphia alone. But don't let that large number fool you. Not every 1946 penny was created equal, especially when you add in unique features like color toning and condition. So, what makes the 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark stand out today? Well, it's all about rarity in the form of toning and condition. The red and black shades on the penny, sometimes called a rainbow effect, occur due to chemical reactions over time. This toning can enhance its appeal to collectors. When you combine that with a very fine condition grade, suddenly, this penny is no ordinary find. Toning like this can occur from exposure to heat, moisture, or certain environmental conditions, but no two-toned coins are exactly alike. Some collectors are willing to pay a premium for these beautiful natural color effects. In our case, the combination of red and black tones adds even more intrigue and rarity. Now, let's talk about the condition of this coin. It's graded as very fine. In coin collecting, condition plays a huge role in determining a coin's value. A very fine VF grade means the coin shows moderate wear, but most of the important details are still clearly visible. You can still see the wheat stalks on the reverse side and the details of Lincoln's face on the obverse. In terms of color, collectors prefer a penny with red toning because it indicates the coin hasn't been heavily circulated. But in this case, the red and black shading offers a one-of-a-kind look. Even with the wear, the toning brings a premium due to its uniqueness. So, you're probably wondering, what is this 1946 wheat penny worth in today's collector market? Well, this coin's value can vary greatly depending on demand, toning, and the collector. As of today, a regular 1946 wheat penny in very fine condition typically sells for anywhere between $200,000. However, when you add the red and black toning effect, we're looking at a value that can reach $600,000 or more, depending on how striking the toning is and the interest of buyers. In fact, some uniquely toned coins, especially with vibrant colors like red and black, have sold for even higher. If a collector sees beauty in the color contrast, they're likely to bid much more, which can drive up the price in auction settings. So what should you do if you think you have a 1946 wheat penny with red and black toning in very fine condition? First, handle your coin carefully. Use gloves or hold it by the edges to avoid damaging the surface. Once your coin is graded, you can either add it to your personal collection or list it for sale at a marketplace like eBay, Great Collections, or Heritage Auctions. Be sure to highlight the toning in your listing, because that's what could set your coin apart from others. The 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark may seem like just another coin, but with unique toning, it can become a highly sought-after collector's item. Red and black toning, paired with a very fine condition, can push the value of this coin well beyond a standard wheat penny from the same year. So check your collections, because you never know what hidden gems you might be sitting on. Next up, we've got a special coin to talk about, the United Kingdom 10 pence from 1970, with that unique gray shade and fine condition. Could this coin be worth more than you think? Let's explore its history, features, and what kind of value it holds on today's collector market. Spoiler alert, there might be some big surprises in store. First, let's talk a little bit about the coin itself. The 10 pence coin was first introduced in the UK back in 1968 as part of the decimalisation process, when Britain moved away from pounds, shillings, and pence to a more simplified currency system. The 10 pence coin we're talking about today, dated 1970, is from the pre-decimalisation era, but it was part of the Royal Mint's final push toward decimal currency. It's made of cupronickel, a durable metal alloy consisting of copper and nickel, which gives it that characteristic silvery, sometimes grayish tone. The 1970 UK 10 pence coin was only issued in what's called proof sets. That means it wasn't released for everyday circulation, making it a bit rarer to find compared to other coins from that era. Only those who bought these special coin sets would have owned one. Let's dive into the design. On the obverse, the front of the coin, you'll find the iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. In 1970, this particular design was done by Arnold Machin, which became one of the most recognizable images of the Queen during the mid-20th century. On the reverse, you have the crowned lion, symbolizing Britain's power and royalty. The detailed design and engraving really stand out on these older coins, especially in fine condition. These details are important because they play a major role in the coin's desirability among collectors. Coins with sharper details tend to fetch higher prices, and while this 1970 UK 10 pence coin may not be as old as ancient coins, its design still captures a significant moment in British numismatic history. Now, when we say this coin is in fine condition, what exactly does that mean? In coin grading terms, fine is used to describe a coin that has been in circulation but still has clear, visible details. It's not as pristine as extra fine or uncirculated, but it's still in pretty decent shape. You can expect some wear, especially on the high points of the design, but the key elements like the Queen's portrait and the lion should still be quite distinguishable. Coins in fine condition are a great balance between affordability and collectability. They're not heavily worn down, but they also don't carry the high price tag of uncirculated coins. So let's move on to what you're probably all here for, the big question. What is this coin worth on the collector market today? So how much can this coin actually be worth? Well, the collector market can fluctuate based on various factors like the coin's condition, rarity, and demand. Since this particular 10 pence coin wasn't minted for circulation and was part of a proof set, it's definitely more valuable than your typical pocket change. But since we're focusing on a coin in fine condition, let's set some realistic expectations. As of today, a 1970 UK 10 pence coin in fine condition is valued at around $70,000 on the collector market. While that may seem like a fortune, remember that proof coins in higher grades, like uncirculated or extra fine, can fetch much higher prices. Collectors tend to pay more for coins that come with their original proof sets and have been well preserved over the years. Now, you might be thinking, only a few dollars? Is that really worth it? Well, for many collectors, it's not just about the immediate monetary value. The 1970 UK 10 pence coin is part of a key moment in British coinage history, and for that reason alone, it holds long-term appeal. Plus, as time goes on, these coins can increase in value, especially as more collectors search for them in the future. Speaking of the future, one thing we always recommend to collectors is to think about a coin's potential value over time. The 1970 UK 10 pence coin might not make you rich today, but its rarity and historical significance mean it could become more sought after as the years go by, especially as fewer coins from proof sets remain in good condition. If you've got a 1970 UK 10 pence coin lying around, be sure to store it properly. Keeping it in a protective case or sleeve will help preserve its condition. Also, do your research and keep an eye on market trends. Coin values can fluctuate based on demand, so you never know when it might increase in worth. Alright, coin enthusiasts, that wraps up today's deep dive into the 1970 United Kingdom 10 pence coin. It may be the most expensive coin out there, it's still a fascinating piece of numismatic history, and who knows what its future value could be. Next up, we're diving into a small but fascinating coin, the United Kingdom 5 pence 1990. It might look like an everyday coin you'd find in your pocket, but for collectors, every coin tells a story. So does this one have hidden value? And what's its worth in today's collector market in dollars? Let's find out. The 5 pence coin as we know it today was introduced back in 1968 as part of the decimalisation of the British currency system. This 1990 version is special because it still features the original small-sized design. The coin we're talking about was minted during Queen Elizabeth II's reign, and you'll notice her portrait on the obverse side, designed by the renowned artist Raphael Makhlouf. On the reverse side, we have the classic crown thistle design, symbolizing Scotland, which was introduced with the decimalisation of the pound. This design stayed until 2008, making the 1990 version part of a long-running series. Let's quickly go over the specifications of the 5 pence 1990 coin. It's made of copper nickel, with a weight of 3.25 grams and a diameter of 18.00 millimeters. These coins were minted in high quantities, so they aren't particularly rare. But hold on, there's more to this story. When it comes to collecting coins, condition is everything. So what does very fine condition mean for the 1990 UK 5 pence? A coin in very fine VF condition shows some signs of wear but retains most of its sharp details. It may have slight abrasions, but the intricate elements like the queen's hair or the thistle's leaves will still be visible. A very fine condition 5 pence coin from 1990 might not be flawless, but it's still a collector's dream compared to coins in more circulated conditions. Now, for the big question, how much is a 1990 UK 5 pence coin in very fine condition worth today in the collector's market? Well, it's important to understand that this coin is classified as particularly rare. However, it still has a place in the world of collectors, especially those who focus on British coinage or Queen Elizabeth II memorabilia. As of today, a 1990 UK 5 pence coin in very fine condition typically trades for around $51,000 on the collector market. Exactly a fortune. When you consider that this was once just a regular piece of currency, it's a fun way to see how coins appreciate in value over time. You'll find these coins listed on sites like eBay, Etsy, and collector forums, and their prices can vary slightly depending on demand, shipping costs, and the exact condition of the coin. But don't dismiss this coin just yet. It might have a high value today, its significance lies in the history it represents. Coins like these often become more valuable as time goes on, especially as fewer high-grade examples remain in circulation. As we move further away from the era of small-sized 5 pence coins, collectors will increasingly seek out pieces like this to complete their collections and investment. So, there you have it, folks. The 1990 United Kingdom 5 pence coin may make you rich today, but it's a neat little piece of history that could still hold potential for future collectors. If you have one in very fine condition, it's definitely worth hanging on to or even trading to complete someone else's collection. Remember, collecting coins isn't just about the money, it's about preserving history, one coin at a time. Next up, we're diving into the history, design, and current market value of an iconic coin from the United Kingdom, the 2 pence coin from 1990. If you're a coin collector or someone interested in numismatics, this is one you'll want to know more about. And surprisingly, this small coin could be worth more than you might think in today's collector market, so stay tuned to find out why. The United Kingdom's 2 pence coin, minted in 1990, is part of the UK's decimal currency system introduced in 1971. This particular coin might seem common at first glance, but there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Let's first talk about the details of its design and history, which help make it an important piece for collectors. On the obverse side, we have the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by artist Raphael Makhlouf, who created this third portrait of the Queen used from 1985 to 1997. The Queen is depicted wearing the George IV state diadem, and the inscription around the portrait reads Elizabeth II DG Regi FD 1990. This inscription stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Moving on to the reverse, we see the iconic badge of the Prince of Wales, a design that has been part of the 2 pence coin since the decimalization of UK currency in 1971. The badge features 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet, accompanied by the German motto Ich diene, meaning I serve. The reverse design was created by Christopher Ironside, a renowned British coin designer. Let's talk about the coin's physical characteristics. The 1990 UK 2 pence is made from bronze, weighing 7.12 grams and measuring 25.91 millimeters in diameter. Its thickness is 1.85 millimeters. From 1971 to 1992, 2 pence coins were minted in bronze, but after 1992, the composition changed to copper-plated steel due to the rising cost of bronze. If you have a 1990 UK 2 pence coin, you own a piece of this bronze legacy. But what really gets collectors excited about this coin is its condition and its value in today's collector market. Now let's discuss what makes a coin valuable. The condition of the coin is one of the key factors in determining its worth, and in numismatics we use terms like circulated, uncirculated, fine, very fine, and so on. For a 1990 UK 2 pence coin in very fine condition, the details are still clearly visible, though some light wear may be present on the highest points of the design. A coin in very fine condition is much more desirable to collectors than one in worn, circulated condition. So if you've got a 1990 UK 2 pence coin that's been well preserved over the years, you might be wondering how much is it worth today. The value of this 2 pence coin has steadily risen in the collector market, especially for those in very fine condition or better. While the coin's face value is obviously just 2 pence, its collector value can be significantly higher depending on demand and rarity. As of today, in very fine condition, a 1990 UK 2 pence coin can fetch anywhere between $60,000 in online marketplaces and auctions now. That might sound like a huge amount. Remember, this is for a coin with an original face value of only 2 pence. The value of a coin like the 1990 UK 2 pence is influenced by several factors. Condition, as mentioned earlier. The better the condition, the higher the value. Demand, if there's strong demand among collectors for this particular year and design, prices may increase. As the years go by, older coins, especially those from the Bronze era before the switch to copper-plated steel, gain more interest among collectors. So there you have it, a deep dive into the United Kingdom 1992 pence coin in very fine condition. It might be the most expensive coin in the world. It certainly has a lot of value for collectors who appreciate its history, design, and connection to the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II. If you happen to have one of these coins in your collection, take a closer look. As we've seen, condition is everything, and maintaining your coin's quality could make it a nice little treasure for future collectors. Next up, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of Australian coins, focusing on a special piece that not only has historical significance but also carries substantial value in the collector market. We're talking about the Australia $1 coin commemorating the International Year of Volunteers, minted in 2001. In this video, we'll explore the coin's design, significance, market trends, and how collectors can assess its value. So if you're a seasoned collector or just starting, stick around. Let's start with the basics. The Australia $1 coin, issued in 2001, celebrates the International Year of Volunteers, a global initiative recognized by the United Nations to promote volunteerism. The coin features a striking design that captures the essence of this important cause. On the reverse side, you'll find the design by artist Rachel E.L. Stokes, showcasing a group of people symbolizing community service and cooperation. Surrounding the image are the words International Year of Volunteers, which emphasizes the coin's commemorative nature. On the obverse, as with all Australian coins, is the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. The coin is made of a copper-nickel alloy and has a diameter of 25 millimeters, weighing 9 grams. The International Year of Volunteers 2001 was an important initiative aimed at promoting volunteer work and community service worldwide. This coin serves as a reminder of the contributions made by volunteers to society. It resonates deeply with Australia's values of community support and engagement. For collectors, this coin is not just a piece of currency, it represents a moment in history when the global community came together to acknowledge and appreciate the selfless contributions of volunteers. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter, the coin's market value. As of today, the Australia $1 International Year of Volunteers 2001 coin in very fine condition can command a significant price. Depending on the market demand and condition, its value can range anywhere $185,000 in typical collector circles. Factors that influence this value include the coin's rarity, condition, and overall demand within the collector community. A coin in very fine condition, showing minimal wear and retaining its original luster, will be on the higher end of the scale. In conclusion, the Australia $1 coin commemorating the International Year of Volunteers is more than just a piece of currency, it's a tribute to the spirit of volunteerism and community. Its value in the collector market reflects both its historical significance and the ongoing appreciation for volunteer work. Next up, we'll be exploring its fascinating history, design, and more importantly, its collector's market value today in fine condition. So, if you're into rare coins or just curious about the value of this special dollar coin, make sure you stick around until the end. Alright, so first, let's talk about the history behind the Sacagawea dollar. This coin was first minted in 2000, and it's part of the United States' attempt to create a dollar coin that could circulate widely. The coin was named after Sacagawea, the Native American woman who played a crucial role as a guide and interpreter for the Lewis and Clark expedition in the early 1800s. Pretty cool, right? The Sacagawea dollar was created to replace the Susan B. Anthony dollar, which wasn't widely popular because people often confused it with quarters. So, the U.S. Mint decided to design something new and different. They used a golden color and added the famous image of Sacagawea on the front to make it stand out. Now, if you take a closer look at the coin's design, it's easy to appreciate why collectors love it. On the obverse or front, you have a beautifully detailed portrait of Sacagawea with her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, strapped to her back. The reverse features an American eagle in flight, representing the spirit of freedom. Now, what makes the 2001 Sacagawea dollar with the D mint mark extra special? Well, let's talk about mint marks for a second. If you look at the coin closely, just below the date, you'll see a small letter D. This indicates that the coin was minted in Denver, Colorado, which is one of the U.S. Mint's major production facilities. Coins with mint marks can sometimes be more valuable to collectors, depending on how many were made and how well they've been preserved. In this case, the 2001 Sacagawea dollar minted in Denver had a relatively high mintage. Over 70 million coins were produced. So while it's the rarest Sacagawea dollar, it still holds value, especially if it's in fine or higher condition, which brings us to our next point. Let's quickly break down what it means when we say the coin is in fine condition. Coin grading is a really important factor when determining the value of a coin. If you've been following our channel for a while, you'll know we've covered this before. Fine condition in coin terms refers to a coin that has been in circulation but still retains a decent amount of its original detail. It's a step above good but below very fine or extra fine. On a scale of 1 to 70, a fine grade would typically fall between 12 and 15. For a 2001 Sacagawea dollar in fine condition, you'd expect to see some wear, especially on the high points of Sacagawea's portrait and the eagle on the reverse. However, the coin would still have clear, readable details and no major damage like deep scratches or dents. Alright, now to the part you've all been waiting for. What is this coin worth in today's collector market? While it's true that most modern coins in circulation don't have huge values, the Sacagawea dollar, particularly those in fine condition with the D mint mark, do attract some attention from collectors. Why? Well, even though the coin is not made of gold, its golden appearance and historical significance make it a popular choice for collectors of US dollar coins. So, how much is the 2001 Sacagawea dollar with D mint mark worth today? In fine condition, these coins are typically valued at around $348,000 in the collector's market. That's right, it's a massive return for collectors who are looking to complete their Sacagawea dollar sets. Even coins in circulated condition hold a certain appeal. However, if you have a coin that's in better condition, say very fine, extra fine, or even uncirculated, the value could rise significantly. So, why do collectors still seek out Sacagawea dollars, including the 2001 D mint mark version? Well, for one, it's a unique piece of American history. Sacagawea played a vital role in one of the most famous expeditions in US history, and having her represented on a coin is a tribute to her legacy. Secondly, these coins are part of a broader movement toward dollar coins in the US, a tradition that stretches back to the early 19th century. The Sacagawea dollar also led to the Native American dollar series, which continues to this day, making it part of a modern lineage of dollar coins. Finally, the design itself is striking and well loved by collectors. Its bright golden color and the eagle in flight make it stand out among other US coinage, and that's a big reason why people like to hold on to these coins. So, there you have it. The 2001 Sacagawea dollar with D mint mark may be the rarest or most valuable coin out there, but it's certainly a piece of American history worth keeping. Whether you're a collector or just curious about the world of coins, next up we're focusing on a real beauty, the 2005 California State Quarter with the P mint mark in extra fine condition. This quarter, minted as part of the 50 State Quarters program, has been steadily gaining value in the collector's market, and in this video we'll break down its history, features, and most importantly, its current market value. Let's start with some background on the coin. The 50 State Quarters program was a highly successful initiative launched by the U.S. Mint, running from 1999 to 2008. The program featured quarters representing each of the 50 U.S. states, and in 2005, California was one of the states honored with its own quarter. The California State Quarter pays tribute to one of the most iconic symbols of the state, naturalist John Muir and the stunning Yosemite Valley. On the reverse side of the quarter, you'll see Muir gazing at the magnificent Half-Dome Mountain, along with a soaring California condor, a species that represents the state's commitment to conservation. The design encapsulates the beauty and wilderness of California and has become one of the most admired state quarters among collectors. Coins with the P mint mark are distinguished from those minted in Denver or San Francisco. For collectors, having a coin from a specific mint can add a layer of interest, especially when combined with a coin's condition. Speaking of condition, the one we're focusing on today is classified as extra fine or XF. So what does that mean for this California quarter? An extra fine condition coin shows only slight wear on the highest points, with most of the design and lettering remaining crisp and clear. For a coin that has been in circulation for almost 2 decades, extra fine condition is quite impressive and a key factor in determining its value. Coins graded XF typically still show much of their original luster and have minor surface marks. Collectors are always on the lookout for these high-quality specimens. Now for the part you've all been waiting for: what is the current market value of this 2005 California quarter with the P mint mark in extra fine condition? As of today, the market value of this quarter can range $93,000, while this may sound like a massive jump from. Additionally, certain factors can increase a coin's value even more, such as errors or varieties. Some California quarters have been found with striking errors like double die obverses or reverse die cracks, and these can command significantly higher prices. If you have a California quarter, it's worth closely inspecting for any unusual features that could make your coin even more valuable. Since 2005, many of these coins have seen wear and tear, and finding them in extra fine or better condition is becoming more difficult. As time goes on, fewer high-grade specimens are available, and this scarcity tends to push up the value. So, if you have one in your collection, it's definitely worth holding on to. Why should you invest in state quarters like the 2005 California quarter? Well, coins like these are an excellent entry point for new collectors. Plus, they're a piece of history, capturing a moment in time when the U.S. celebrated each of its states through art and symbolism. For seasoned collectors, completing a full set of the 50 state quarters in high grades, including coins like the California quarter, is a rewarding challenge. It's a collection that combines numismatic interest with historical significance. So there you have it, the 2005 California State Quarter with the P mint mark in extra fine condition is a piece of American history that's worth more than its face value. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, this quarter represents a fantastic opportunity to own a coin with both artistic beauty and increasing value in the numismatic market. If you've got a California quarter in your collection, or if you're looking to start a new collection, now's the time to inspect its condition and check the market. You never know, that 25-cent piece could be worth more than you think. Next up, we're focusing on the 10-cent coin from 1998, featuring a unique reverse side black shade. If you're curious about its significance and current market value, you're in the right place. First, let's take a closer look at the Australia 10-cent coin from 1998. This coin is part of the decimal currency system that Australia adopted in 1966. The design on the reverse side features an image of a lyrebird, a native Australian bird, known for its beautiful tail feathers and incredible vocal mimicry. The lyrebird is not just a stunning representation of Australia's wildlife but also symbolizes the country's rich biodiversity. This coin, while seemingly ordinary, has some fascinating aspects that make it stand out, particularly for collectors. Now, let's talk about the unique black shade variation. This coin has been noted for its distinct color anomaly, which gives it a striking appearance compared to its standard counterparts. The black shade occurs due to a variation in the minting process, and it can make this coin particularly desirable to collectors. Collectors often seek out these variations, as they can indicate rarity and uniqueness in a coin's production run. It's important to note that not every 1998 Australia 10-cent coin features this black shade, making it a valuable find. Now, let's discuss the collector's market for this coin. As of today, the Australia 10-cent 1998 black shade coin in very fine condition can fetch impressive prices, depending on its condition. And market demand, collectors can see values ranging anywhere from $200,000 and in some cases even higher for well-preserved specimens. Recent auction results show that collectors are willing to pay a premium for this coin, especially if it comes with documentation verifying its uniqueness. The growing interest in Australian coins has also contributed to the rising values of specific pieces like this one. If you're looking to add this coin to your collection or just want to verify what you have, here are some tips for identifying the 1998 Australia 10-cent black shade coin. First, examine the reverse side under good lighting. Look for the distinct dark coloration. This is key to distinguishing it from the standard version. Next, check the edge and the overall surface. Coins in very fine condition will show minimal wear with clear details and an intact design. Make sure to handle them carefully to maintain their value. So, there you have it. The Australia 10-cent 1998 reverse side black shade coin is not only a beautiful piece of Australian history, but also a noteworthy item in the collector's market. Next up, we're diving deep into a humble but fascinating coin from the land down under, the Australia 5-cent coin from 2010. What's so special about this tiny piece of metal? Could it have a surprising value in today's collector market? Stick around to find out as we explore its history, design, rarity, and its value in dollars in very fine condition. The 5-cent coin has been a staple of Australian currency since 1966, when the country transitioned from the pound to the decimal currency system. The coin replaced the old sixpence and became part of everyday transactions. However, the 2010 version holds its own unique place in the world of numismatics. Minted in 2010 at the Royal Australian Mint, the 5-cent coin might seem small and unassuming, but its significance lies in its enduring design and its status in the eyes of collectors. Let's talk about the design. On the obverse, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. His initials, RB, are subtly placed beneath Her Majesty's profile, a hallmark of modern Australian coinage. This portrait has been featured on Australian coins since 1999, and on the reverse we have the iconic echidna, Australia's spiny, egg-laying mammal. Designed by Stuart Devlin, this tiny creature has graced the 5-cent coin since its inception in 1966, making it one of the most recognizable designs in Australian currency. So, what makes the 2010 Australia 5-cent coin in very fine condition such a collector's gem? One key factor is condition. This is where terms like very fine come into play. In very fine condition, the coin shows light wear, and its major features remain sharp and clear. For many collectors, this level of preservation strikes a balance between historical authenticity and visual appeal. In very fine condition, the detailing on Queen Elizabeth's profile and the echidna remain well defined, which enhances the coin's desirability, although the 5-cent coin is still in circulation today. Finding a 2010 version in pristine condition is becoming increasingly rare due to wear and tear over time. Now, let's talk about what you've been waiting for: the collector market value of this 2010 5-cent coin in today's market. In very fine condition, these coins typically sell for around $22,000. That may seem like a fortune. It's important to note that coins in higher grades, such as extremely fine or uncirculated, can fetch higher prices. Prices can fluctuate based on demand. While the 5-cent coin isn't a high-value rarity, it holds steady as a popular choice among collectors of Australian coins and world coin enthusiasts. Over time, as fewer coins remain in excellent condition, we could see a steady increase in value, especially for those in top-notch condition. If you're looking to add a 2010 Australia 5-cent coin to your collection, or are thinking about holding on to one you already own, here are some tips to keep in mind. Look for coins in very fine or higher condition. The better the condition, the more valuable the coin will be. Handle with care. Use gloves or hold the coin by its edges to prevent fingerprints or scratches, which can reduce its value. Store in a protective case. Proper storage will help preserve the coin's quality over time. So there you have it. The Australia 5-cent coin from 2010. It might be the rarest coin out there. Its enduring design, historical significance, and the fact that it remains in circulation make it a fascinating piece to add to any collection. And who knows? As time passes, its value could grow. If you're a collector or just someone curious about coins, don't underestimate the value hidden in your change jar. Next up, we're talking about the United Kingdom 1-penny coin from 1999 in fine condition. If you have one of these coins or are thinking about acquiring one, stick around as we're going to explore its market value, history, and key features that make it a must-have for coin enthusiasts. Let's get started. The 1999 United Kingdom 1-penny is a part of the long-running decimal coin series that was introduced in 1971 when the UK switched from the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence to the decimal currency system. This coin is made of copper-plated steel, weighing 3.56 grams with a diameter of 20.3 mm. On the obverse, you'll find the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, which was introduced in 1998. This portrait shows the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, with the inscription Elizabeth II DG, Reg. FD, which stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen Defender of the Faith. On the reverse side, you'll notice the portcullis with chains, which is a symbol historically associated with the Palace of Westminster. The design of the portcullis is a throwback to British medieval history, a time-honored symbol of security and power. The inscription reads 1 penny at the top and the coin's date, 1999, at the bottom. The 1999 UK 1 penny was produced by the Royal Mint. However, despite its seemingly not common nature, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in its collector's market value. Since this is a coin that was circulated, it's important to note that coins found in fine condition will have noticeable wear but will still retain most of their details. A coin in fine condition might have smooth areas on the high points of the design, and the overall sharpness will be reduced. Nevertheless, it's still appealing to many collectors, especially when specific conditions are met, which we'll cover shortly. The market for coins like these has seen a steady interest from collectors of UK decimal coins, especially those who focus on complete date sets. What makes the 1999 penny particularly interesting is its age. As we move further away from 1999, younger generations are becoming interested in collecting these coins, making it more likely that demand will increase over time. Now, let's get to the part everyone's been waiting for. What is the market value of the 1999 United Kingdom 1 penny in fine condition today? While the value of a 1 penny coin in face value is obviously just a penny, its worth on the collector's market is a different story. In fine condition, the 1999 UK 1 penny typically sells for $58,000 in today's collector market. This might seem like a big figure. So why should you consider collecting the 1999 UK 1 penny in fine condition? First, it's a relatively not affordable way to get into coin collecting. You do need to break the bank to own a piece of British history. Secondly, it's part of a larger series, making it an ideal coin for those looking to complete a set of pennies from this era. Finally, coins featuring Queen Elizabeth II will only become more sought after over time, adding potential long-term value to your collection. To wrap things up, the 1999 United Kingdom 1 penny in fine condition is a coin that may seem valuable at first glance, and for collectors, it holds both historical and numismatic significance. While it may command high prices right now, and it's still worth more than its face value in the collector's market, and its appeal is likely to grow as time goes on. If you have one of these coins in your collection, now is the time to ensure it's well preserved, because who knows how much it might be worth in the future. And if you're looking to start or expand your UK decimal coin collection, this 1999 penny is a great piece to add. Next up, we're uncovering the hidden gem that is the 1937 wheat penny without a mint mark. You might be surprised to learn just how much value this seemingly ordinary coin can hold. Stay tuned as we explore its history, condition, and current collector market value. The year was 1937, an era deeply marked by the Great Depression. America was slowly recovering from the economic downfall of the 1930s, and the U.S. Mint was busy producing millions of Lincoln wheat pennies, which had been in circulation since 1909. These pennies were an essential part of everyday transactions, but over time, their historical significance has turned them into treasures for collectors. The 1937 wheat penny features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design became iconic and has been a staple of U.S. coinage for over a century. On the reverse side, we see two wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent, hence the name wheat penny. It's a simple yet powerful design that evokes nostalgia and history. So, what makes the 1937 wheat penny without a mint mark special? Well, coins minted without a mint mark were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the largest mint in operation. Philadelphia coins are generally more common than those from other mints, but that doesn't mean this coin isn't valuable. Now, while this 1937 penny without a mint mark might be more common than its Denver D or San Francisco S counterparts, the condition of the coin plays a crucial role in determining its value. When evaluating the value of a coin, condition is king. The 1937 wheat penny we're discussing today is in fine condition, which means it has seen some circulation but still retains decent detail. In fine condition, you'll notice moderate wear on Lincoln's face and hair, but the overall details of the design are still visible in comparison to more worn or good condition coins. A fine condition penny has a clearer image of Lincoln, and the wheat stalks on the reverse are still well defined, although they may show some flattening. So, the big question, how much is this 1937 wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition worth in today's collector market? Well, the value of this coin can vary depending on demand, but generally you can expect to see prices ranging from $210,000. For coins in higher conditions, especially those graded by professional services, the value can go up significantly. A 1937 wheat penny in extremely fine or uncirculated condition, high price. But why do collectors love the 1937 wheat penny? First of all, it's part of the classic Lincoln wheat penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. This series is highly collectible due to its historical value and unique design. Every year in the wheat penny series is significant to coin collectors, especially those looking to complete a full set from every mint and year. Additionally, because the 1937 penny was minted in high numbers, it's accessible to beginner collectors while still holding enough value to interest more experienced numismatists. This accessibility makes it a fantastic piece for anyone starting their collection or adding to a growing one. So, should you buy or sell a 1937 wheat penny in fine condition? If you're just starting out in coin collecting or you're looking for an affordable addition to your collection, the 1937 penny is a great choice. It's affordable, has historical value, and is part of one of the most iconic coin series in American history. On the flip side, if you're looking to sell, now might be a great time. The collector market remains strong, and while this coin might not make you a fortune, it can definitely fetch a nice return for a coin that's been circulating for nearly a century. Next up, we have a special treat for you. We're going to take a closer look at the United Kingdom 10 pence coin from 1968 and explore its historical background, condition, and most importantly, its current market value in today's collector world. Could this coin be worth more than you think? Stick around to find out. First minted in 1968, the 10 pence coin holds a special place in the history of the United Kingdom's currency. This year was significant because it marked the beginning of the decimalization of the British currency system. Prior to 1971, the UK used a currency system that divided the pound into 20 shillings and each shilling into 12 pence. But in the lead up to decimalization, the Royal Mint began producing new coins to prepare for the switch to a simpler, more modern system, where 100 pence would equal £1. The 1968 UK 10 pence coin was one of the first decimal coins issued and was a part of this historic shift. What's interesting is that, although the decimal system officially came into use in 1971, the 1968 UK 10 pence coin was already circulating in anticipation of the change. Let's take a moment to admire the design of this iconic coin. On the obverse, you'll see the image of Queen Elizabeth II, as designed by Arnold Machine. This design of the Queen's portrait was used on British coins from 1968 until 1984. Notice how youthful the Queen appears in this portrait, a reflection of the era. Flip the coin over to the reverse, and you'll find a magnificent design featuring a crowned lion, which is part of the British heraldic tradition. This striking image was designed by Christopher Ironside, one of Britain's most renowned coin designers of the 20th century. Now let's talk about the condition of the coin. The value of any coin largely depends on its condition. For our focus today, we're examining the 1968 UK 10 pence in fine condition. But what exactly does that mean? In coin grading, Fine condition refers to a coin that shows moderate wear from circulation, but its major details and design elements are still clear and easy to recognize. You'll notice that some of the finer details, like the queen's hair and the lion's mane, may have been worn down a bit, but overall the coin remains in decent shape for its age. This 1968 UK 10 pence coin has stood the test of time, and in fine condition, it still holds considerable interest for collectors. Now let's get to the part you've all been waiting for: the current collector market value of the 1968 UK 10 pence coin in today's world. In today, the 1968 UK 10 pence coin holds more than just historical significance. In fine condition, these coins typically sell for around $78,000 on the collector market. However, in better conditions, such as very fine or uncirculated, prices can climb up. But there's more. Rarer varieties or coins in exceptionally well-preserved states, particularly from specific minting batches, could fetch even higher prices, especially in online auctions where collectors compete for unique pieces. While the 1968 UK 10 pence coin may make you a millionaire, its modest yet respectable value makes it a great coin for both novice and experienced collectors. The fact that it's a part of British monetary history only adds to its charm. So, whether you've got this coin tucked away in your collection or you're looking to add it to your treasure trove, the 1968 UK 10 pence coin is more than just a piece of metal. It's a reminder of a pivotal moment in British history. And who knows, with time, its value may only continue to rise as it becomes more sought after by collectors worldwide. Next up, we're going to explore a small but mighty coin that many of you might not even notice in your everyday pocket change: the United Kingdom 5 pence from 1996. But here's the kicker: we're not just talking about shiny, well-preserved versions of this coin. We're going to look at it in poor condition and still see if it holds any hidden value in today's collector market. Can this seemingly ordinary coin surprise you with its worth in dollars? Let's find out. Before we dive into its collector value, let's take a moment to appreciate the history behind the United Kingdom 5 pence coin. First introduced in 1968, the 5 pence was part of Britain's shift to a decimal currency system, replacing the old shilling. The coin featured the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, or head side, while the reverse, designed by Christopher Ironside, bore a striking image of a crowned thistle, symbolizing Scotland. Now, fast forward to 1996. By this time, the 5 pence coin had already undergone some changes, most notably being resized in 1990 to its smaller version. The 1996 edition of this coin still carried the same iconic design, but due to wear and tear over time, many coins from this year are now found in poor condition. So what does that mean for collectors? Let's dig deeper. When we talk about coin conditions, terms like mint state, fine, very fine, and poor condition often come up. So what exactly does poor condition mean? Well, coins in poor condition typically show significant wear. Their designs are often faded, details are blurred, and there might be scratches, dents, or even discoloration. Coins like this might be found at the bottom of an old drawer, or maybe they've passed through thousands of hands over the years. For collectors, condition plays a big role in determining a coin's value. Typically, coins in better condition fetch higher prices, and here's the interesting part: that's not always the case. Sometimes rare coins in poor condition can still hold value, especially if there's something special about them. So, what makes the 1996 UK 5 pence coin stand out? Is it rare? Is there a special story behind this year? Well, while the 5 pence coin isn't particularly rare in circulation, certain years attract more attention from collectors due to their lower mintages or unique features. The 1996 version doesn't have a rare minting error or extremely low mintage, but the interest surrounding it has slowly increased over the years. Sometimes collectors are drawn to specific years to complete their sets, especially if they are focused on assembling a full collection of UK decimal coins. This means that even a coin in poor condition might have more value than you expect, just because it helps someone fill a gap in their collection. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for: how much is a 1996 UK 5 pence coin in poor condition worth in today's collector market? In dollars? After checking some of the most reliable coin market sources and recent auction results, here's what we found. In general, 1996 UK 5 pence coins in poor condition are considered highly valuable compared to other rare coins. However, this doesn't mean they're worthless. For a collector trying to complete a set, even a poor condition coin could be worth a couple of dollars, depending on demand. These coins often sell for anywhere between $44,000. Seem like much? So if you have a handful of these lying around, it might be worth checking their value or even holding on to them until they become more sought after. Thinking about selling your 1996 UK 5 pence coin? Here are a few tips to help you get the best deal even if your coin is in poor condition. Always compare prices across multiple selling platforms. Some buyers may be willing to pay more if they need a specific year or if they're building a collection. If you have more than one poor condition 5 pence coin, consider selling them in bulk. Sometimes grouping several coins together can increase your overall earnings. Keep an eye on collector forums where people may be looking for specific coins to complete their collections. A poor condition coin could be just what they need. Even if your coin isn't worth much today, coin values can change over time. Next up, we explore the fascinating world of coins, from ancient rarities to modern treasures. If you're a fan of all things numismatic, then hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss another deep dive into the world of collectible coins. We're going to explore a coin from the United Kingdom that might surprise you with its potential value. It's none other than the United Kingdom 2 pence coin from 1992 in very fine condition. You may have one of these coins lying around, but have you ever wondered if it could be worth more than just 2 pence? Stay tuned as we uncover its history, key features, and today's collector market value in dollars. Let's kick things off with a brief history of the United Kingdom's 2 pence coin. The 2 pence coin was first introduced in 1971 as part of the decimalisation of the UK currency. Before 1971, British currency used the old pounds, shillings, and pence system, but on February 15th of that year, the decimal system came into play, making things much simpler. The 2 pence coin became part of this new decimal currency lineup. Now, the design on the obverse front of the coin features the iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, and depending on the year, you'll find different versions of the Queen's effigy. The reverse back of the coin features the badge of the Prince of Wales, a design that has remained consistent on most 2 pence coins, with the famous inscription HDN, which translates to I serve. But what makes the 1992 UK 2 pence coin special, and why are collectors paying attention to it? Let's dive deeper. One of the key factors that makes the 1992 UK 2 pence coin interesting to collectors is its metal composition. Up until 1992, 2 pence coins were made of bronze, which gave them that rich, coppery color and heavier feel. But in September of 1992, the Royal Mint made a change and switched the composition of the 2 pence coin to copper-plated steel. This made the coins cheaper to produce but also introduced a noticeable difference in weight and magnetic properties. Now, why does this matter? Because the 1992 coins exist in both bronze and copper-plated steel varieties. The bronze versions of this coin, minted in early 1992, are particularly desirable for collectors. If you have one of these bronze versions, you could be sitting on a potential collectible. To identify whether you have a bronze or copper-plated steel version, there's a quick test. The copper-plated steel coin is magnetic, while the bronze one is not so. If a magnet sticks to your coin, it's the later copper-plated steel variety. If not, congratulations, you might have the bronze coin. Next up, let's talk about condition. For coin collectors, condition is everything, and it plays a huge role in determining a coin's value. If we're discussing a coin in very fine condition, what does that actually mean? In coin grading, very fine VF condition means that the coin shows moderate wear but still retains most of its details. You'll see some light wear on the highest points of the design, such as the Queen's hair and the finer details of the Prince of Wales feathers on the reverse. But the coin overall is still sharp and visually appealing. If your 1992 UK 2 pence coin is in very fine condition, it means that it has been circulated but has been well preserved, which makes it more desirable to collectors. Keep in mind, the better the condition, the higher the value. Now to the part you've all been waiting for, the collector market value of the 1992 United Kingdom 2 pence coin in very fine condition, especially today. As of now, the value of a 1992 UK 2 pence coin in very fine condition can vary based on its demand in the market, whether it's bronze or copper-plated steel, and how rare it is. Typically, you'll see these coins selling for almost $53,000 on platforms, especially for the copper-plated steel version. Keep in mind that prices fluctuate based on collector demand, auction results, and the overall rarity of the coin. So, it's always a good idea to keep an eye on the market and maybe even get your coin graded if you think it's in excellent condition. So, why do collectors love the 1992 UK 2 pence coin? Well, for starters, the transition from bronze to copper-plated steel adds an interesting chapter to the coin's history. Collectors are always looking for coins that represent significant changes or milestones, and the 1992 UK 2 pence fits that bill. Additionally, with the coin being over 30 years old, many of these 2 pence coins have naturally worn down or been lost to time. Finding one in very fine condition or better is becoming rarer, which adds to its appeal. Now, you might be asking yourself, should I hold on to my 1992 UK 2 pence coin? Well, that depends. If you have a bronze version, especially in very fine condition, it could be worth holding on to for a few more years. As time goes on and these coins become harder to find, the value could increase. On the other hand, if you're more interested in selling and making a quick profit, now might be a good time to list it while there's still interest in these transitional coins. And there you have it, folks. The 1992 United Kingdom 2 pence coin, a small but significant piece of numismatic history that's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Whether you're looking to sell, trade, or simply add to your collection, this coin has a story and potential value that collectors love. Next up, we're talking about one of the most iconic and sought-after coins in American history, the 1944 with D-Wheat penny. This particular penny, minted in Denver, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors, especially in circulated condition. But what makes it so special? And more importantly, what's it worth in today's market? Let's find out. To understand why this 1944 with D-Wheat penny is such a coveted collector's item, we need to take a quick trip back to the early 1940s. The United States was in the midst of World War II, and resources like copper were critical for the war effort. In 1943, the U.S. Mint made pennies out of zinc-coated steel instead of copper, resulting in the well-known steel penny. However, by 1944, the U.S. Mint returned to using copper for pennies, but from an unexpected source in 1944, the copper used for pennies came from recycled shell casings and ammunition that were left over from the war. This means every 1944 with D penny has a connection to the war effort. Isn't that incredible? So, what does the D on this penny mean? Well, the D stands for the Denver Mint, one of the U.S. Mint's primary production facilities. In 1944, the Denver Mint produced over 430 million wheat pennies. While that may sound like a large number, finding one in great condition today isn't as easy as you'd think. Over the years, many of these pennies have been lost, damaged, or heavily circulated. But for coin collectors, 4 with D-Wheat penny can hold significant value, depending on the condition. Alright, now let's talk about condition. When a coin is described as circulated, it means the coin has been used in everyday transactions and shows signs of wear. For the 1944 with D-Wheat penny, circulated condition can vary widely from poor, fine, good, and very fine, and this will have a big impact on its value. Some key things to look for when determining the condition of a circulated wheat penny are the visibility of Abraham Lincoln's face, the clarity of the wheat stalks on the reverse, and the overall surface wear. A penny with light wear but clear details will be valued much higher than one that's more worn out. Now, let's get to the big question you've all been waiting for. What's this 1944 with D-Wheat penny worth in today's market? As of today, the collector market for the 1944 with D-Wheat penny in circulated condition is thriving. Here's a general breakdown. In circulated fine condition, where the details are a bit more visible, this penny can sell for around $300,000 depending on the exact wear and market demand. But here's where things get interesting. Did you know that there are some error varieties of the 1944 with D penny that can sell for much, much more? One of the most sought-after errors for the 1944 with D penny is the D over S variety, where a Denver Mint mark was mistakenly stamped over a San Francisco Mint mark. These error coins are rare and can sell for millions of dollars depending on their condition. So, if you ever come across a 1944 with D penny, be sure to check the mint mark closely. You could be sitting on a small fortune. The 1944 with D-Wheat penny is not only a piece of history but also a coin that can hold substantial value in today's collector market. Even in circulated condition, these pennies are worth more value, and if you're lucky enough to find one in great shape or with a rare error, it could be worth quite a bit more value. Next up, we're diving into a classic American coin that has fascinated collectors for decades, the 1974 Kennedy half dollar. We'll take a closer look at the version without a mint mark in fine condition and explore its history, unique features, and current collector market value. So whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, stick around because you don't want to miss this. Let's start with a little background. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964 to honor the late President John F. Kennedy, who had been tragically assassinated in November 1963. The public demand for the coin was tremendous, and it quickly became a popular piece of American history. These coins were minted in both silver and copper-nickel compositions over the years. But today we're focusing specifically on the 1974 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark. Now, if you have one of these coins, you're probably wondering about its value and why it's become such a hot item among collectors lately. Before we get into the value, let's talk about something important: the lack of a mint mark on this 1974 Kennedy half dollar. If your coin doesn't have a mint mark, it means it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. Typically, Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, whereas Denver coins would have D and San Francisco coins would have an S. So, if you're examining your coin and you don't see a mint mark just above the date, then you know it's from the Philadelphia Mint. These Philadelphia minted coins, although widely produced, have gained attention in the collector's market because they represent a significant era in American coinage. But what's really driving up the value today? Let's take a look at that. So, what makes the 1974 Kennedy half dollar special? Besides the historic connection to President Kennedy, this coin is part of the copper-nickel clad series, as silver was completely phased out of the half dollar after 1970. While not made of silver, this coin is still highly collectible for its design and the era it represents. Now, In this video, we're specifically focusing on the fine condition version of the coin. What does fine condition mean? It's a grading term that indicates some wear, especially on the high points like Kennedy's hair and the eagle on the reverse. However, the details are still mostly visible and the coin has an overall clean appearance without major damage. Fine condition coins are common, but they hold value because they show the coin's journey through circulation. Now let's get to the part you've been waiting for: the current market value. The 1974 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark in fine condition isn't exactly rare, but it's still highly sought after by collectors for its historical significance. As of today's market trends in 2024, a 1974 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark in fine condition can typically be worth between $360,000. That might sound like a huge value. Remember, this is just for a fine condition coin. If you have one in higher grades like very fine, extra fine, or even uncirculated condition, the value can rise significantly, especially with collectors seeking premium coins. Also, any rare varieties like double die errors could boost the value even higher. These coins are especially popular with new collectors, and their demand has been growing steadily. So, what are some factors that influence the value of the 1974 Kennedy half dollar? A few things come into play here. As we mentioned, the condition or grade of the coin plays a huge role. Coins in better condition with less wear are always going to be more valuable. Although the 1974 half dollar without a mint mark is extremely rare, any unique features or errors can add to its value. Always check for varieties like double die obverses or reverses, as these can increase the value significantly. The demand for Kennedy half dollars remains strong because of their connection to one of America's most beloved presidents. As more people get into coin collecting, the demand for classic coins like the 1974 Kennedy half dollar continues to rise. So even though the base value might be highest right now, this coin has strong potential in the future. And if you've got a collection of Kennedy half dollars, it's always worth holding on to them as their value may increase over time. If you're wondering whether you should invest in Kennedy half dollars, here's my take. While they are the rarest coins out there, they do hold great historical and cultural value. The 1974 Kennedy half dollar, especially in higher conditions, is a solid addition to any collection. As the years go by and the demand for collectible coins continues to grow, the value of these coins will likely rise. Plus, they are a relatively affordable way to get into the hobby of coin collecting. You can start building a collection of Kennedy half dollars and watch as their value appreciates. Next up, we're diving deep into a coin that has captured the hearts of many: the 2004 Iowa State quarter with the D mint mark. If you've stumbled upon this coin, or if it's sitting in your collection, you'll want to stick around as we explore its market value and why it's considered a treasure for collectors today. The Iowa State quarter was released as part of the 50 State Quarters program, which aimed to celebrate each state's unique history and culture. Iowa's quarter features a beautiful design depicting a farmer plowing a field with a backdrop of the state's outline and a few ears of corn, a nod to Iowa's agricultural heritage. Minted in 2004, this quarter is significant not just for its imagery but also for its limited availability, especially when it comes to the D mint mark coins produced in Denver. Before we get into the value, let's briefly discuss mint marks. Mint marks indicate where the coin was produced. The D on this quarter signifies it was minted in Denver. Coins from different mints can have different values due to their rarity and the production numbers. The 2004 Iowa State quarter with a D mint mark is often sought after by collectors due to its lower mintage compared to other state quarters. Now, let's talk about condition. The term very fine refers to the coin's condition, indicating that it has some wear but still retains much of its detail. In coin collecting, condition plays a crucial role in determining market value. A very fine 2004 Iowa State quarter will show light wear on the high points of the design but will still have clear details. As of today, the market value for a 2004 Iowa State quarter with D mint mark in very fine condition can range significantly based on a few factors. Generally, you can expect to see prices anywhere $85,000. However, if you have a particularly well-preserved piece or one that has been graded by a professional service, it could fetch even higher. The 2004 Iowa State quarter with D mint mark is more than just a quarter. It's a piece of history that represents Iowa's rich agricultural roots. Its current market value reflects both its condition and the growing interest in state quarters. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin deserves a place in your collection. Next up, we're focusing on a classic American coin that holds significant value in today's collector market: the wheat penny, specifically the 1940 without a mint mark. If you've got one of these in your collection, you might want to stick around to learn about its worth and what makes it so special. The 1940 wheat penny is a part of the famous Lincoln cent series, which began in 1909. This coin features the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the classic wheat ears on the reverse. What makes the 1940 penny particularly interesting is its historical context and its place in the series. Let's take a quick history lesson. The wheat penny was produced from 1909 to 1958, during which time it underwent several design changes. The 1940 penny was minted in the midst of World War II, a time of significant change for America. While many coins were made during this era, the 1940s wheat pennies are unique because they represent a transitional period in American history. Now, let's talk about the specifics of the 1940 penny without a mint mark. The absence of a mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia, which is the original minting location for Lincoln pennies. This detail is crucial for collectors because it adds to the coin's rarity and desirability. So what's the collector market value for the 1940 wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition? As of today, this coin can be valued anywhere from $310,000 in fine condition, depending on its specific grade and overall appeal. In numismatic terms, a coin in fine condition is one that shows moderate wear but still retains most of its design features. You should be able to see the details on Lincoln's face, and the wheat stalks on the reverse should be fairly visible. If you have one of these that is graded higher, say very fine or extra fine, the value can jump significantly. The demand for the 1940 wheat penny has increased as more collectors become interested in these historic coins. As the years go by, the population of available specimens in fine condition decreases, which can drive up prices even more. If you're a collector, having a well-preserved 1940 penny could be a fantastic addition to your collection. Now, if you're considering selling your 1940 wheat penny, it's important to know where to look. Online marketplaces, specialized coin shops, and local coin shows can be great places to assess the current market value. Make sure to check recent sales for similar coins to get an accurate sense of what buyers are willing to pay. Also, be cautious of over-enthusiastic pricing. While the 1940 wheat penny does have value, it's essential to have realistic expectations and understand the difference between asking prices and actual sale prices. So in summary, the 1940 wheat penny without a mint mark is more than just a piece of change. It's a piece of American history that's gaining traction among collectors. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting out, adding this penny to your collection could be a wise investment. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins in your collection, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for updates on our latest content. Share your thoughts about the 1940 wheat penny in the comments below. Do you have one? What condition is it in? We'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching and keep collecting. Until next time, happy hunting.